The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 418, being recorded on March 13, 2023. I'm one of your hosts, Jesus Gonzalez, known as Jesus Walks Out. Today I'm joined by my friend and co-host from the West Coast, the best coast, Gunny Chief, Emily Merrill is back. Welcome back, Gunny. Welcome.
Hey guys, good to be back on a nice rainy day in California.
Very rainy day.
A good gaming week, yeah.
Very rainy day here as well today here in Oregon. And from the great white north where the polar bears live, Ryan Gibson, Gib 877777. I don't know how many, a lot of sevens. He's back. Welcome back, Ryan. Welcome.
What's going on, everybody? Another episode of Horrible Gamers. Let's do this.
He is our special replacement guest for the other guy who couldn't show up this week because he's at home crying because his car doesn't have the horsepower he thought it had. All right, he's at home crying. He's trying to figure out how to get more horsepower over there, Gunny.
No, actually, Jesus,
He's tuning his engine.
It was something about it was on the news. Actually, there was a zebra who chopped a man's arm off.
What?
Tried to eat his arm, and Mayo had to take him to the hospital.
No, I thought he was crying because of his horsepower.
Yeah, zebra power. I don't know, man.
His horsepower over there. He was like, I thought my car had 400 and whatever horsepower. It only has whatever.
Well, you got to go downhill, Mayo. Just go down the hill; it'll go faster. They don't have hills there, do they?
It's just flat land. It's all the corn.
I think he said he sold his car after last week's episode.
I think he got the one car that was actually like less horsepower than it's supposed to be.
The one that's in Gran Turismo,
right? Shit. Anyways, Mayo is gone this week, ladies and gentlemen. He's not here with us today, but we are here and we're here to give you a show.
You're talking about him like he's dead. He's not with us today. He left yesterday. He's gone. He's gone, guys.
He's not with us today. And you can follow us on Twitter at _Horrible Gamers. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and other podcast places where you can leave reviews. You can also rate us as well on Spotify and your favorite podcast platforms. We're available literally everywhere, as far as I know. Horrible Gamers Podcast Community is our Facebook group. You can find us on Facebook. We also have a great Discord. Join the Discord. It is better than Facebook. I will tell you that. Join our Discord community. All you have to do is click on the link in the show notes. It'll take you right to Discord on your phone or your computer, wherever you listen to us on. You click on it and you go right to it. If you do not have a Discord account, it'll ask you to make one, and then you make one, and you're in. And that's all it takes. Literally takes about 10 minutes, Gunny, max.
Easy.
I think it takes about 10 minutes max. I don't know how long it really takes. Anyways, big shout out to our Patreon machines over at the Patreon machines at patreon.com/horrible gamers. Like our friends. Let's look at here. Pull up the list.
Oh my God, Jesus! Searching
every time.
Stand by.
Leahy, big shout out to Big Leahy, Big Jason Sams, Big Robert Noble, Big Sean Patrick, Big Chad. Okay, Chad reached out to us on the Discord. Now we know who he is. All right,
Who is he?
they're now you're gonna make me go to the Discord and look at the chats. So I'm on Discord. Chad is Dr. Doom 71.
Oh, what's up, Dr. Doom?
No, his name is Chad, bro, not Dr. Doom. His name is Chad. We refer to him as Sir Chad, Sir Big Chad the First. Henley M, Pork Chop Poo, Nipron, Big Nipron, best HGP host ever, Edward, big capital letter Edward, Big Bobo Balls in Ohio. Okay, big shout out to him. Jonathan, Big Titan, Big D Hall, and the first HGP patron, Bill, still even the biggest D, Garner the second, the Elden Lord. Thanks to all of you guys for the monies over our Patreon machines. And you can also head on over to Redbubble, ladies and gentlemen, and spend more of your monies there. And get yourself some nice gear from HGP. Just search for Horrible Gamers over at the redbubble.com website. Find the person wearing our logo. I'm pretty sure you see our logo on there. Same logo that's on the podcast player that you're using, probably. And you can buy all kinds of stuff. You can buy socks, clocks, mugs, hats, shirts, pants, underwear, whatever you want. It's all there. Just turn over to Redbubble, get yourself some gear. And a big shout out to the intro and outro music makers this week. Phantom Mech for the intro music to the show, and Broke for Free for the Night Owl song that's at the end of today's podcast. And okay, so all the intros done. We're done. Mayo died. He got really sad because his car didn't have the horsepower. And we're here. We're talking about video games. Guys, I played a lot of games this week. So start off real quick, easy, quick off the list. Call of Duty, played a lot of that this week. Now, remember I told you last week I bought the season pass or the battle pass or whatever. And like, holy shit, that thing takes forever to level up. I'm never going to finish it. So I pretty much just gave him $10 for no reason. Because I'm never...
Why not?
I'm never, ever going to finish the fucking pass. I'm not even gonna try to finish it because it's literally like a 30-day pass, and I'm like, this is unless you play Call of Duty every day, that's all you play. Like you're never gonna finish it. Like, and I don't play it every day, all day. I play it like twice a week, really. So sorry.
I can only imagine, Jesus. They probably have. Correct me if I'm wrong. They probably have like a reoccurring charge to buy it every month.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Just like any other subscription base.
They give you enough coins in it to buy the next one and a little bit extra. So if you beat all of it, you do get like enough money to buy the next one, and you also get like an extra 200 coins, plus whatever
incentive to keep yourself going.
Yeah, plus whatever little unlockables are in there, right? Like you get all the skins, all the guns, all the shit that comes in the pass, which is kind of like the reason you want the pass, to get all that cool shit. And so yeah, and I'm not really a big fan of the theme of the pass. I believe the theme of the pass is Japan, but like not like Japan right now. But I'm talking like samurai style shit. So everything's like a weird samurai gun, samurai looking armor. It's a fucking weird theme to me, and like in a Call of Duty, you know, it's like that's kind of odd, but whatever. It is what it is. So I play a lot of that. I'm looking forward. There's a new map they're dropping this week on the 15th, which is Wednesday. They have a new update for the. So there's going to be a new raid. So I don't know if you guys know, but the raids were introduced like last month or something. But there's going to be a new raid 2.0, I think is what it's called. Which is the next raid, because the first raid was called Raid 1.0. Okay, these guys are very creative. These guys are very creative with the names. And so Raid 2.0 is coming this week. To play that raid, you must have a raid pass to get into the raid. And you must have a 3-member team to start the match. You cannot start the raid in a solo queue. You have to queue up with 3 other people. So either you have to find people that want to do the raid with you. And I believe the raid is like a Destiny style thing where it's like a one-shot thing. Like you use the pass up, all you guys go in, and you have to complete it in that first time you go in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't get another chance?
No, you don't get another chance. I think it's like a one-time thing. So you gotta have to go in there and like really like. I think that's why they have you go in there with like 2 other people that are on your friends list or that you queue up with, because instead of going in there with
together.
Yeah, because they don't want you going in there with like a random, right? Or like you and your buddy are like good, but then you get like this random person that just joins the fucking lobby and he doesn't have a mic or something, you know, and you're like, fuck, you can't talk to them, you can't coordinate what you're doing or whatever. So yeah, the new raid comes out this week. I kind of still want to do the first one. I do have the raid pass or whatever, but I just haven't found the people to play it with or do it with or the time, because I don't know how long it takes. From all accounts, it takes about an hour to do, but I don't know. It would just take time, coordination, and all that to get together with 2 other people and do it. And I just haven't been really interested in doing all that. I'd rather play like Team Deathmatch or something. Besides that, played some more Battlefield, of course, the other shooter that's on my rotation all the time. Battlefield new season came out with a new operator. We talked about her last week as well. And I'm really liking Battlefield, man. The new season, the content, the map is really good, the map they released. But I'm also enjoying just the game a lot more now. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the class system they reintroduce or just the way their battle pass is structured. I like it way better than Call of Duty's battle pass because they give you like missions to do each week, but they all seem very attainable, right? Like it'll be like revive 50 people or like kill 20 people with a sniper rifle or like I don't know, blow up 3 helicopters or like get a like travel in a vehicle so many meters. So pretty much you just jump in a Jeep or get in a helicopter and fly around the map. And it counts towards these objectives. And it makes it pretty kind of easy to level up the battle pass, I feel like. Plus they have constant double XP going on. I don't know why, but every time I play that game, it's like double XP is on. I don't even know like if there's an event going on or what the hell's happening, but there's always double XP on. Because I'm always getting like extra XP for shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, okay, well that's cool, you know, and that also gives you like a lot of battle points or whatever to go and level up your battle pass in Battlefield.
It's free to play. I think starting today, Jesus, all the way through Friday.
Okay. Oh, so that's probably why they're doing the double XP.
So on Steam, Xbox, or I know it's on Steam for sure. Free to play.
I know that on the Xbox, if you have a Game Pass subscription, it is now included with your Game Pass because it's included in the EA Vault.
Yeah.
So the full game actually is in there. I mean, the full game was in there before with the 10-hour trial, but the actual like if you want to go past,
now you can actually play it. Yeah.
And you know what's nice about that? I've mentioned it before, but it's also PC Game Pass. You don't just play it on your console.
Yes. So that's a cool thing. Okay, now besides all that, the big game that I played this week was Hogwarts Legacy, as y'all may know.
Yeah.
And bro, I'm like, I want to say 30, 40 hours into it now. And I finally unlocked, there's, what's the fucking spell called? Inceptio? Which lets you mind control enemies. So like, you can control an enemy and like he'll fight for you or whatever. So when it's kind of helpful when you get into a big group of people that are all fucking you up. You can kind of mind control one of them and then use Crucio on the other one, and you use these spells in tandem. And then you just like what I love about the combat in that game is they fucking thought of the spells and the way you can combine them. And just keep fucking going. Just cast, and you're casting these spells, and you just combine them. When you do that shit, like you get in a crazy flow of things, you know, and you really memorize how your wheel is set up. You can become a real fucking like super badass wizard, dude, or witch, I guess, if you're playing as a witch. But I mean, you could just be a real bad motherfucker in there and just fuck everybody up. But doing a lot of the side quests. Now, there's an area of the map that I don't know how to get to. There's like a giant. When I went there, I couldn't fly to it. It's like on the bottom right corner of the map. And there's a bunch of objectives that I have to go do down there. Like, I have to go catch a phoenix for my little like animal sanctuary thing. I have to go do the 3rd broom trial. So I have to go do the broom trial to like unlock the next upgrade for my broom. But the chick is all the way down there on the map. But when I fly over there, it's like there's like one of those walls where you can't fly past, right? Like looks like a little whatever.
It's got like the force field, right?
But right underneath that, there's like a giant camp of enemy. Like I'm talking like a fucking giant camp of enemies, dude. So I'm thinking, fuck, I have to go down there and fight all these guys. Like I have to fucking go down there. But I look down there, dude, and there's like trolls. So they have like these giant trolls. They have all these guys down there. I'm like, fuck, do I want to do all that right now? So I haven't done it just because I know that's going to be a big fucking fight. And it's probably going to take me a while to complete, you know, because you got like trolls and all these like little fucking dwarf things or whatever running around. And it's like, fuck. It's a lot of enemies. But besides that, man, I fucking love that game. That game is so damn good. The world is amazing. The fucking just the characters that you run into and like the things you run into in the world. It's just incredible. Everywhere that I go, there's always something to do. I'm just flying around. I'm just doing shit everywhere I go. Like, oh, there's a cave over here. Oh, there's a chest over here. Oh, there's a Merlin puzzle over here I could do. Oh, look, I found this like whole side objective of like whatever's going on in this town. And then you just fucking do random shit the whole time. Just keep going, and the side quests never end, dude. It's just like a never-ending fucking game for me. And I know some people are like, well, I beat it already. Yeah, dude, there's like, in reality, there's only like 15 main story missions.
Yeah, you can get through the story quick.
Yeah, the story missions, I'm like at number 9 now. I did the 3rd or 4th trial. No, I just did the 3rd trial. So now the 4th wizard showed up, and he like talked to me, and he's like, oh, now I must talk to the other guys and see, they have to catch me up, and I'll talk to you about doing the next trial. And I like the 3rd trial. It was very unique, I'll say that. The way they set that trial up was pretty cool, but it was kind of hard at the end too. There was a huge combat sequence where you have to like use a lot of different spells, but it was pretty cool. But I like the way they did the art style on that one. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of Hogwarts Legacy, man. Just ask me anything about Hogwarts, Gunny. I'm in it, bro. I'm there. I'm living in Hogwarts.
Yeah. So I just completed, like, literally within the last 30 minutes, I completed my first trial. So I'm a little behind, but I beat it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say that I tried it, I think Friday or whatever, a few days ago. And I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. It's kind of hard, and you start out, you can grab your 5 potions, which you're going to need, especially since you're like a low-level character. But it was just getting the timing down when he throws out like that orb at me. It's like, all right, right before he throws it is when I have to dodge. It was like,
you can also, for a tip for that one, you can shoot the orb that he's powering up.
Really? Okay.
And like whatever color it is, you have to use that kind of color spell towards it. So if he's powering up a red one, you shoot a red spell at him, and it'll blow up in his face, and it'll kind of make him stumble back a little bit. So that was the trick to that.
So maybe I wonder if it was the Accium or just the general.
There's different ones. There was the purple, the red, and the yellow. He would use different ones, and every time he'd come around and he'd start doing his spell, it would turn yellow. It would start turning red. It's like, so that would tell you that, okay, you have to use that color spell right now against him, and it'll kind of like make him stumble back a little bit. And that's kind of how I beat him, because I would hit him with that, and he would stumble back, and then I would cast all my other shit on him, and then he'd get back up real quick. But it'd give you like a moment to attack him, because he'd be all stunned and shit for a second.
Like I assume he would take more damage because once I was able to use my my special, if you want to call it, your LB/RB on the Xbox controller, like where it like brings him down to his knee. And then, then I can use the general spell or the Accium or whatever it's called. And then like he'll get back up and he'll, do a lunge attack and then he'll throw another orb out. But
also,
I say he gets you down to half health, a little bit past, once you get him past half health. And then out of nowhere, another projectile will come flying at you. So you got to watch out for that too. That was getting me as well. But I can use the protection spell from that. So
yeah. So I would, like I said, just suggest when you're always fighting people, just kind of look for the colors that they are. Because some people, like, you've probably seen it already, where some people put up shields, and the shield just signifies the color that you're supposed to use against them, whatever spell, whether it's red, yellow, or purple. Also, any like your dark magic spells, if you do decide to learn them, because I think you have an option to not learn them.
That's what I was going to ask you, if that was an option, because that seems to be where the story's going.
If it is, I'm not fucking taking it. All right, I'm learning all the dark shit. I'm not a big pussy. Or I'm not like, I'm not gonna learn the dark spells. No, fuck that shit. I'm learning all the dark spells. All right, because every time I've gone to learn a dark spell, Sebastian's usually the one that'll teach you it. But every time he's about to teach you it, it'll give you the option to say like, no, I don't want to learn that. I'd rather just not learn that spell. I don't want to learn it. And I've never chosen that option. I don't know if it'll still force you to do it, or if he's just like, okay, then whatever. Like, I'm not gonna teach you. You know what I mean? I
Okay.
don't know how it works.
That's gonna be interesting because I thought you had to learn it, but also if you notice in your skills, you can actually put points, whether it be in dark magic or
Yeah.
general spells or other things as well.
I have my dark magic one almost all the way leveled up because it really helps when you're using the dark magic because it'll cause some of the regular spells to also create like a curse effect on enemies. So the curse effect, what that means is usually that if you hit somebody with the dark spell and you keep attacking that person, the damage you do to that person also reflects to every single other enemy in the area. So if you keep hitting that guy with the spells, like your regular basic casting spell, um, it'll also damage the other enemies around him, and it's kind of a really helpful tool to use. I have my dark spells all the way leveled up. The only one I don't have is Abracadabra, with the one that kills people or whatever. And I just haven't learned the spell. I just haven't done the side quest with Sebastian to learn it yet. But I feel like my quest with Sebastian, I'm pretty advanced because, like, the whole story between him and you is you're trying to help his sister out or whatever. And Sebastian's just really into these dark spells or whatever. And he's teaching you these spells because you're helping him trying to do this thing for his sister. And so I just think we haven't got there yet. I feel like I'm pretty close though, because the last mission that I did felt like, all right, I think we're pretty close to solving this problem that you have going on with your sister. So I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of really close to the end of the game. So I'm not trying to really push it. I'm trying to just go in there and explore the world, keep doing the side quest. And now that I did all the side quests before I did the last trial, and now that I did the last trial that I did, the third one, more side quests popped up around the map, like in the villages. I could see more little objective markers. So I've just been cruising around the world in my broom and going to these objectives and just doing them all, man. Just random shit, like kill this troll, kill this guy or whatever. This guy stole some money from me. I want you to find him. Okay, I'll go find him. I've been breaking into all the houses because I did there's a guy that teaches you how to do the lock picking thing.
Yeah, I think I talked to him.
Yeah,
he's like, come back to me and let me know if you want to learn.
He's the weird, creepy guy that stands in front of the library at night. Like, just at night, he's in front of the library, just
What's
chilling.
He doing? He's got his hand under his robe.
Yeah, it's a fucking creepy ass, like, weird looking dude. And oh, bring me all these moons and I'll teach you how to do the lock picking spell and Aloha Mora or whatever. And it's like, okay, bro, I'll be back. And those stupid fucking moons were hard to find. I kind of had to use a guide to, like, find where most of them were. Because some of them are really just fucking hard to find. They're like really hidden, man. They'll be like in the most random spots. And if you're not really looking for them, like you have to constantly be looking for them wherever you're at on the map at night, it's really hard to find them. So I just kind of was like, you know what?
Does the Revelio help?
Yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna go to this guide real quick. Just get enough to unlock the abilities to get the higher lock picking skills. Because the first one he teaches you is level 1, but obviously, as you've probably seen in the world, there's level 3 locks as well. So I just did enough to get the level, because once you give him like 15 moons, he'll teach you how to do all of them, like level 2 and level 3. So I just did that. I was like, I'm just going to give him enough moons to do that. But there's still more moons in the world that I could go find. But I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not interested in seeing this guy's story. Like, oh, why are these fucking little statues around the world? I don't fucking care, dude. I don't want to see your story. Your story's kind of fucking dumb to me. I want to run around and do other stuff. So it's a weird guy, okay? He's just a weird dude. But I just, every time I play the game, it's like I set a new objective for myself. A few weeks ago, I want to say about a week ago or a week and a half ago, my objective was to run around the map and find as many of the fast travel points as I could. So for like a fucking 2-hour period, Ryan, I flew around on my broom the whole fucking map just fucking flying by these fast travel, like the little flu flames or whatever,
Yeah.
just flying by them to unlock them. That's all I did for like 2 hours. Just like, all right, I'm gonna go here, do this, go here, and like I was like opening the map every time and like, okay, have I got all the ones in this area? Okay, now let's move on to this section. Have I got all the ones in this area? Okay, move on to this one. So I kind of have most of the areas unlocked, except for like I said, that bottom right corner of the map, where it's kind of like a blocked off area where I'm pretty sure what I have to do is kill everybody in that camp to get to that area. So like eventually I'm gonna have to fight all those people. I just haven't want to go there. I don't want to do that yet. So I've been running around doing the other shit. I did most of the Merlin trials. I think there's like 2 of them in the map that I still could do. But that really helps out because that unlocks more gear space for you, so you can carry way more stuff. So I have that pretty much all the way leveled up. I have to unlock the last level gear or whatever, like the last thing to unlock the max gear items. I think it's 50 max. I got 45 items I can hold right now. So that's how I play the game. Every time I play, I set like some dumb goal. Like today I'm gonna run around and do all the side quests. Today I'm gonna do all the quests with Natty. Today I'm gonna hang out with Sebastian and do all the quests with him. Today I'm gonna hang out with Poppy or whatever and do the quests with her. And so it's kind of cool doing all these different quests, and they all are kind of unique, right? Because Natty's quest, her quests are more like trying to take down this like I don't know, these like this gang or whatever of like wizards that hang out in that world or whatever, and they're like the bad guys of the fucking wizard world. They're like a gang or whatever you're trying to take down. Poppy's quest, or you're trying to take down the poachers. So these guys that are just running around the world and they're like trapping animals and skinning them alive and shit. So you're trying to take those guys out. And then Sebastian's quest, as I said before, is he's trying to save his sister from whatever the hell's going on with her. But they all teach you something different, right? Sebastian's obviously the coolest, I think, because it's all the dark art shit. So he's teaching you how to use the dark magic, the dark arts, teaching you how to do the forbidden spells and shit. Poppy's, she's kind of just like, I mean, I'm not really a big like, oh, we gotta kill all the poachers. I don't really care, but
kill all the rednecks.
but she's a cool character, right? She's just like a cool character, and every time I run into her stories, like as much as I don't care about killing the poachers, I feel like her story is well written, and it's like the things that happen in her story are really cool. You get to see like some really cool creatures. Like that's where you run into the really cool like fantastical fucking beast in the world. You know what I mean? Like you see the coolest creatures when you're hanging out with her. And Natty, she's just like a whatever. You just got like this thing to do with her. You know, just go fucking try to take these guys out because whatever, you don't like them either. Cool. It's cool. But I really like the game, Ryan. I fucking love that game.
Yeah, I'm not very far into it, but it seems okay to me. Like it's just I'm not into Harry Potter really, and I don't know. It's cool, but it's not enough to keep me going. I don't think for me personally. I can see how great the game is, but it just doesn't do it for me.
And
but I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I can see it's not for everybody, but I
Yeah.
fucking love it, man. I really do. Like, I love like some of the gear that I've unlocked is really fucking cool. There's some really cool missions you do. Like the last one I did, there was some real cool shit that occurred to get to that last trial. I think you'll like when you do that, Gunny. It's kind of like a unique little mission. But yeah, I just really like it. There's a lot of things to loot in that game, man. Every town that you go to will have like
there's shit everywhere.
Every house you could break into, every fucking house, and just take everything. And that's why I say it's so important to unlock all those gear slots and do as many of the Merlin trials as you can, because you're gonna need that space. Unless you go like I did in the beginning, where I would just fly back to the fucking store. I would fast travel to like an area with like a little shop and just sell all the shit that I didn't need. And then I would fly back and then do my mission and then go back, and then like I was doing that a lot.
Yeah,
I still
but
do it now. It's just become a habit of mine where after every like main mission or every town that I looted, if I know I have like downtime, it's like okay, I have to go sell all this shit real quick. I have to go sell all my crap, Gunny.
I wish you could, because right now I'm in such early stages where I'll go to open a chest, and let's say, like, for example, like I was doing that first trial. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, your gear slots are full. So I'm
exactly.
like, all
You're
right, well,
into that.
obviously I'm gonna take the shit that's like level 9 or
Mhm.
level 10. Since I'm like 12, 13, I'm just gonna destroy it. But I know where the one of the shopkeepers are where I
Just
can go
sell it.
sell that stuff because it'll give
Yeah,
me a sell price.
yeah. Well,
But
most of the stuff will give you anywhere between 60 to 90 coins. But some stuff does give you like 200 coins. I think the most that I've sold something was like 200 coins. I think it was like a legendary item. It was like gold or whatever on the screen because there's like green, purple, and there's like a orange, and then there's like gold. I think there's like 4 different tiers or 3 different tiers.
yeah,
But
what
yeah,
is it called? Like, I guess you could call it like, put it in the trash bin or whatever. So at least I wish you could mark it. So that way,
mhm.
when you do go back to like a vendor or whatever, you can just sell all your junk or whatever. That would be nice. It's
That
not a
would be
lot.
nice.
It's not like Diablo or anything. But
Yeah.
question about the gear slots or the gear itself. Why does it say like it'll say no attribute? Is that something I learned later on?
Yeah, once you get to the room of requirement,
I have
that's
it. Oh,
yep.
I do
Yeah.
have it, but maybe the gear I was looking at didn't have the requirement. Okay.
No. There's a room of requirement. Have you unlocked that room itself?
So that's the room that I get. You were talking about it a couple weeks ago. It's the library, right? I mean, you kind of find
Mm,
it, and then you basically renovate your room. And then you get that table you can sit down.
okay, yeah. But in that
Yeah,
room, have you got the ability? Has Dobby or Dobby, whatever the fuck his name is, has he given you or whatever Deke? I think his name is Deke
Deke.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was thinking of the movie, but in the game he's Deke, and Deke. Has he given you the ability? Because he gives you like every time you go back in there, eventually after still playing the game for a while, he starts giving you more and more shit in that room. Like he'll put in the little room where like all the beasts can be, and then he'll put in another one of those, and he'll put in another one, and he'll put in something else, and then he'll give you this thing that I believe is once you unlock the ability to capture the beast, once you do the beast class, and you unlock the ability to capture beast, he gives you this table, like you can craft this table that can you can use the items that the beast drop, like the feathers and whatever, to equip your gear with like some kind of like power. Like, oh, this gear is like way better against dark magic. This gear, like if you put this on your gear, this gives you like more fire power or whatever. Like you take less damage from fire attacks. Either give you a better defense or a better offense on your character. Which honestly, man, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to me. I don't fucking care about that stuff. It takes too long to craft something, to go back to the room of requirement and craft the fucking thing to get the little protection boost. When I'm know like 20 minutes later I'm gonna find a better piece of gear and I'm just gonna change it out for that piece of gear. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. It's
because
an added little thing. Yeah, I
because
get it.
those attributes that
I'll,
you infuse into that gear, you cannot take that off and put it onto the next gear. Like now you have to go back to the room requirement and then craft it again to put it on your gear, and it's like, what's the point? There's no point. There's
is it so? Is it going to be like, for example, when I'm making the so when I'm growing that plant for the wiggle field potion, is that what it's called? Wiggle field?
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, which is your health potion.
yeah,
So it even shows you like when you're growing the plant, it's like 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, so I just created another table and grew another plant, until I can
yeah.
unlock another, upgraded table.
Once you can go to the Hogsmeade, and there's a guy in that town. There's multiple people in that town actually that'll sell you stuff. But there's one guy that'll sell you stuff for your room of requirements. And I recommend going to him if you find yourself in a position where you need to craft a bunch of plants and buy these tables that you can like plant like 3 plants at a time.
Yeah, that's what I want.
That's what I did. I went and bought a bunch of those tables and put them all over in random fucking spots in my fucking room. And I have like all these fucking plants growing everywhere all the time. So every time I just plant the seeds in them and I left. So every time I go back into that room for whatever reason, or if I know I need something like, oh, I need the stupid Dittany leaves to fucking do the Merlin trials because I don't have enough. I just go back to the room, I collect all my plants really quick, and they'll just keep respawning, right? Like every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes, they keep respawning. And I'm like, well, fuck it. All right, I'm done. I go and I do my thing or whatever. But it's kind of cool to have those there because you can, like I said, some of the plants actually help you in combat, which I never really use. I always forget that they exist, but they do help in combat. You can use them for like to fight people. You know, you can throw the little cabbages out, and you can
Yeah, little biting cabbage or whatever they're called.
you can use a little guy that screams, a little tree
Yeah.
fucking root that screams or whatever. You can use him. You can use different ones for different enemies, and I
There's like
guess
that Venus
they're helpful.
flytrap thing. It's kind of big, actually.
Yeah,
Well, it's a big plant that it's not tall,
yeah.
but I threw one out today on an enemy or
Yeah,
yesterday.
I always have all that stuff maxed out. All my plants are always maxed out in my wheel, like in my inventory. So I always carry them with me, and I have all these potions as well that I never use. I have like the Endurus potion and the Maximus potion and the invisibility potion. I have all these other different potions that I never fucking use, and I'm like, maybe I should start using them. You reminded me. Maybe I should start using them. Maybe it'll help me fight that big village camp thing.
Yeah, you'll probably use everything over there.
Yeah,
You know,
just
if they're
throw them all
especially
out.
multiple
Fucking throw
enemies.
them all out. Fuck
Yeah.
it. But yeah, I really like Hogwarts Legacy. It's an incredible game in my opinion. And I really feel like it's a game of the year contender at this point. I know people are probably thinking, "Oh, what's that other game that came out? Elden Ring or whatever." It's game of the year last year. I think Hogwarts is one of the ones for this year. But you know, the year is young. We still have a long time left in the year, and
Yeah,
we'll see
yeah.
what happens.
Yeah, I definitely say contender of the year for sure.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
other games that I played, I actually went back into my Game Pass and started playing other games. So I tried a few of them. Shadow Warrior 3 Remastered or whatever. I don't know if you guys have played the other Shadow Warrior games, but I played this one a little bit today, and it actually was a weird game, but I like the combat. So it's simply like the other game where you have a sword, you have guns, and then you're fighting enemies. But the game actually ended up crashing on me after the intro of the game because it starts off you're like in this like destroyed world, and the guy is by himself, and he's like talking to like these like pineapple or something, kind of like some Castaway situation where like he's the last human alive or something. He was the guy that saved the world in the last game, but he's like, yeah, I saved the world, and this fucking giant dragon shows up. And he fucked me up, and the fucking dragon destroyed the whole planet, pretty much. So he supposedly was trying to save the world. He did, and then he somehow by doing that, he unlocked this door where this giant fucking dragon that was trapped for like millions of years, Gunny, came out. And I'm talking like you're probably thinking like some Skyrim dragon. I'm think of like a Chinese dragon, like a long snake-looking thing, right? That's what you
Those are
gotta think of.
fast. Those are fast
No,
dragons.
you're not thinking of like you're thinking. I know you're thinking dragons like Skyrim or like Game of Thrones. No, think of like the Chinese dragons you see like at festivals, like Chinese festivals or whatever, like the long ones, right, with the big head. All right, one that looks like a Pokemon kind of. All right, you look at him, okay. That's the dragon flying around the map, and he's just fucking everything up. And the dude's like sitting there. He's in his underwear. And he's like all fucking, I don't know if he's drunk or high. He's like, but man, he's all talking to these pineapples and she's telling them the story of what happened. It's like, I saved the fucking world and everything went to shit. That stupid fucking dragon fucked me up. And, and it's kind of
Yeah.
telling the story of how he went to go fight the dragon. So you're kind of doing like this flashback sequence where you're playing as him and you're like sliding down this mountain and you're fucking all these guys up with your sword and your guns. And he's talking about how he got to the dragon the first time, and the dragon just kind of shook him off. And he's like, that fucking dragon. And then he's like, you went back again, and you keep fighting the fucking dragon, and all his little minions or whatever that keep popping up. And graphics are not that impressive. It feels like almost like a 360 or maybe a PS3 game, I would say. or like an early Xbox One, PS4 game. Like the graphics are not that impressive, but the gameplay is fun. The only problem that I will say is though, like I said before, the game crashed on me randomly. It just stopped working. I'm playing it through the Game Pass on the PC, and for some reason I could literally hear my PC spinning up, like the fans were all like,
Oh, it's not optimized, is what
the
it is,
fans were
right?
like, it
Yeah.
was like they went like max mode. I was like, what the hell's going on? And like, I don't know, after a few minutes of playing, it just was like, no, fuck you, we're crashing. So I'm thinking it's badly optimized on the PC, but
Yeah,
maybe it'll
sounds
work
like it.
better. Maybe it'll work better on an Xbox, right? Who knows? If you're looking to some
Yeah,
cool
they
game,
have to make it work on a console. So,
yeah.
but
If
yeah,
you're
I
into
saw
some cool
this.
shit
I
like
saw
that,
this. I
try it
think
out.
these are in first person.
They
If I'm
are,
not mistaken.
yes.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
I
And the
played two.
combat is kind of pretty simple. RB is your sword attacks, and then left trigger pulls up your pistol or your shotgun, and you shoot with the right trigger, and you dodge. And combat is not very hard. There's a lot of enemies, yes, on the screen at sometimes, but like they make it very easy to just be a pretty powerful dude or whatever, right? Um, yeah, I suggest you try it out, Gunny. Shadow Warriors
Yeah,
is fun.
I
It's a
downloaded
fun
it.
series.
I downloaded it, and then I'll add on another game, which was Need for Speed Unbound, I think it was, but
Yeah.
I still have yet to play those two games. So
That one was
Unbound is, of
cool.
course, a trial, but
Yeah. But speaking of Game Pass, I still dabbled in there a little bit more. Other games that I downloaded today, or yeah, today actually I downloaded another one. I went in there and I downloaded Forza, or not Forza, Formula One. F-
yes,
F1. Yeah.
F1 22,
I
Formula
played
1
this.
2022.
Yep.
And
That's the simulator, right?
yes,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
it is
I
the
played it.
simulator. It's available on Game Pass. Now I don't know if it's a. I'm thinking that's an EA game for some reason because when I
I
launched it,
believe you're right.
I think the EA app launched and it was like EA is now downloading Formula. I was like, the fuck EA owns Formula One too? Like
Yeah. They
they
bought
own like what the
Codemasters.
fuck? They own all the sports games pretty much.
Yeah.
They literally do every sports game besides the NBA 2K, right?
How did you not know this, Jesus? Yeah,
Like
like
how the fuck do they own Formula One as well?
They-
they don't have baseball,
Oh
or
yeah,
basketball.
yeah, Codemasters. They
you're
bought the
right.
studio
Well,
last year.
EA does do. Don't they do like the NBA Live game or whatever?
Not anymore. Not for a long time.
There's just 2K that does it. 'Cause I know.
Yeah,
I
it's
know
been
EA.
2K since NBA Live got canceled that one
Oh, I
time.
remember that. It got fucking canned. Like
Yeah,
they were pretty
like the
much done
day
with
of
it.
two days before it was supposed to
Yeah.
come out or something like that, they canned it.
So I was thinking, I know they used to make an NBA game, and
Yeah.
they fucked it up. 2K
I
pretty
think that
much.
was in like 2013 or something like that, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
They legit canceled the game like the day before it came out. That's sad. Anyways, so yeah, EA owns Formula One, but give a shout out to EA on this one. Formula One 2022. It's a pretty fucking cool game, man. So pretty much you start off and you can start a career either as a driver joining a team and playing through a season, and then the season ends, and then like your contract will end. Sometimes you'll sign a 2 or 3 season contract. Sometimes you sign a 1 season contract. But other teams in the racing league or whatever, in the Formula One league, will come to you and they'll be like, "Hey, we want you to be part of our team. If you join our team, we'll make you the number 1 driver. We'll offer you better sponsorships, better cars, etc." And but this game is really cool, man. Like you can go in there, Gunny, and like before the race, you can like tell your engineers, okay, I need you guys to upgrade my gearbox. I need you guys to upgrade the front of my car or whatever. Like I don't feel like the turning is good enough. I need you guys to upgrade the whatever in the front or the wing, the spoiler in the back or whatever. Like you can have them upgrade different things in the car, but it doesn't do it right away. It'll be like, okay,
It's like a research, right?
yeah. We're like, okay, we'll put money into this. You have this many research points. If you activate this, we'll start doing this, but it's going to take us 4 weeks. It's going to take us 12 weeks. It's going to take us 16 weeks. But you can also rush him. You could be like, no, I need this done like in 2 weeks. But the risk of having them rush the project is the item can fail. So like if they rush it and they complete it, when you go to test it, or like put it on your car, it'll say like item failed, like item did not, like it broke because they rushed it, they didn't develop it right or whatever. Um, Pretty cool though, Gunny. They got like this guy that does like this like pre-race interview with you every race. He kind of talks to the Formula drivers. He talks about, oh, today we're racing in whatever, Spain or whatever. And we're just kind of like nice and sunny today. We'll see how the drivers are out there. And then you're kind of like start off your career as like the rookie driver, like the number 2 driver on a team. And you're trying to obviously move yourself to the number 1 position. All right. You're trying to be Ricky Bobby, trying to be the
Ricky
other
Bobby,
guy.
shake and
All right.
bake.
And yeah, but there's also another game mode in there where you can play as the driver of your team, but also as the manager of your team. So you can hire and fire like the mechanics and the engineers on your team, and you can also manage the other aspects, not just the driving and the racing, where the other one is more focused on, like the lap times and setting you go out and you test the track and you memorize the turns in the track and slowing down and speeding up and all that. And the other one you can kind of manage, okay, like I want to add a better mechanic to the team. I want to bring in a better engineer. I want to invest money into the car, or I want to invest money into the team, etc. It's kind of a cool game, man. I didn't think I would like Formula 1 as much as I fucking did when I played it.
Yeah, so that I think you were talking about that person that talks to you for a pre-race.
Mhm.
Which you talked to several times. I believe it's a reporter.
Yeah.
So the reporter's cool because you can. I don't know what the outcome is because when you talk to that, it's either a man or woman, and then they'll say, so how do you feel about this race or whatever? You can be really cocky about it
Yeah.
and just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna smoke them all, or I don't really care, or you can just be like, we're just gonna take everything in stride and just see how like you can just be nice about it. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like I wonder if that makes a difference or whatever. Maybe if you
I
lose,
wonder.
if you were cocky, then yeah,
I
you'll
do
probably
know
lose some more
that
points.
right before the race, you'll be like in the garage and you'll have like the computers in front of you, and all your guys will be like around your car, like cleaning your helmet and like fucking putting fuel in it and shit. And it'll tell you, like, okay, this is a pre race setup. Like, do you want to you could just skip this and go into the race. But if you do this like pre lap shit, we'll give you like extra research points and like XP or whatever, because you completed these like the pre-race, like the position whatever fucking thing, right, where you can like you set the time and then it'll like put you in the position that you're going to start at for the race, the grid. um so that's kind of a cool little thing. Like I said, you can choose to skip it and just go straight into the race, but the game also tells you like, don't just think of this as a grid position thing. Think of it as a practice run, because it'll teach you, like, you can kind of fuck with the car a little bit during this time, where you can learn like, all right, like this track is good for soft tires, or for medium tires, or for hard tires.
Yeah.
And it'll tell you like you can also memorize the track. You also learn how the track is laid out, so when you're driving in it, you're not gonna come up on a turn and just fucking slam into the wall because you're going too
What's
fucking
coming.
yeah, you were going too fast or whatever. You couldn't stop because those cars are fucking hard to stop, dude. When I the first
Yeah.
fucking turn that I went into, like I started the fucking whatever, like the pre-race side or whatever. I fucking went into the wall, fucking full speed, dude. Like first turn that I ever came on, dude. I was like, holy shit.
Wee.
Right, and the tires don't screech. Right, it's like a motorcycle. It just
Yeah,
goes into the wall.
yeah, the fucker just went into the wall, dude. It was like, holy shit,
It
I
doesn't
was not
turn.
expecting that. Oh, that was terrible. But yeah, like the game is pretty cool. Really good graphics too. It looks really fucking good. And it has all that shit. It has like DLSS support, and it has the fidelity, whatever the fuck the shit's called for AMD, like the same thing. It has that support for it as well. Um, by default, it wasn't supporting my ultra wide or whatever monitor,
Oh, that sucks.
but I could set it to 16:9. But it was still weird because it wasn't really 16 by like
Yeah.
it was, but it was like too wide now for my screen. Like the resolution went too far out. Like I couldn't see the edge, because there's like when you're racing, you can press a certain button on your controller. I think it's RB for the Xbox controller, where you can bring up your radio, and you can talk to the engineer like who's in your like pit or whatever, and you can ask him like, hey, do you want me to pit this lap or do you want me to continue? Or like, hey, how's my fuel looking? Or hey, can you tell me what the weather is gonna be like in the next lap or two? And like they'll tell you all this shit. They'll be like, oh no, the weather's looking good. You can keep staying out there. Or like, hey, look, we got some rain coming in. We should switch over to some wet tires real quick. Like, or they'll tell you like, hey, look, you're fucking running the car too hard. You need to back off a little bit. The car's gonna fucking blow up on you if you don't fucking slow down or something. So they got all these cool. Like the game is really simulation, man. Like it's really fucking cool. If you're into racing, I guess. I mean, maybe if you're not, then you would probably hate it.
Yeah. So what I did, Jesus, was I downloaded this because I went, oh, it's on Game Pass.
Mhm.
I downloaded it. I think I played it on the console itself, and I was like, wait, I already played this. Oh yeah, I'm trying to. That's right. I played it when it first came out when they were doing the 10-hour free trial.
Yeah, but this
So-
is like the full game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get the full game, but I think you can play for. Well, now it's in the vault, so you can play the full game.
So you can
Yeah.
play the full game
On
with
Game
no
Pass,
trial.
Yeah.
And that was cool. So what I did, Jesus, real quick, was I downloaded it. I was
Mhm.
checking it out. I was like, wait, why is it telling me to continue progress? I was like race number 3 or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, I had the trial. Like it saved my progress. So then I ended up just go ahead and like, okay, I'll just delete this. And I ended up downloading I think it was on Steam. It might have been a free weekend for the F122 manager, which I think you played, Jesus, right?
Mm,
Was that the one that you played? I don't know if you
no.
played it on Steam or
I haven't played
something
that
you were
one.
playing on mobile or something.
I was playing a different one on mobile, but it wasn't F1 Manager. It was like something else Manager.
Okay.
Maybe it was F1 Manager, but it was the mobile version. It wasn't the PC
Yeah.
version. But like this one, like I said, has a manager mode in it as well. Like there's a manager mode in it too.
Yeah,
Like,
it lets you
it
kind
kinda
of like
has
take
both.
control of like you can go in the what do they call it, the meeting room or the boardroom.
and like before the races even start, like you're in like the office where like all the other engineers and the other race guys, like the other like people that work with you and your team or whatever, and they're all in there and you're on the computer and you can check the weather, you can check the statistics, you can check like the other teams, like you can check their standings and their cars and like all kinds of shit. So it's kind of like cool to see that, like you can like study your opponents or whatever.
Yeah, you can change sponsors, you can add
Yeah.
Sponsors. There's a lot to do. I mean,
It's a lot to them.
it's
I
a
think I
lot
ended
more
up.
than just racing.
I think
Yeah,
the first team, the one that I started off with right now, is the Red Bull team. I believe it's Red Bull and like Oculus, Red Bull, Oculus, and somebody else. They're like the ones that are sponsoring me. They're not going to sponsor me for very long if I keep crashing into walls, though.
yeah.
They're
Right.
like, fuck this guy. This guy fucking sucks. Anyway.
So I usually run, like me personally, like just with any game, whether it be Forza or F1. I usually just run with the brake line only.
Yeah.
So it just kind of tells me like, all
Once
right,
you slow down.
even if I don't hit it at the exact
Yeah.
moment, like you better just be ready to left trigger that thing.
But
I end
yeah,
up
the
in the
game,
rubble every time.
the game does support a VR version, which I don't have a headset anymore, but I would have played it in VR if I did. But when I launched the game, it asked me, do you want to launch it in regular mode or VR mode? So it does have a VR support for it. If you're using if you have a headset available to you on the PC, you can play it with VR on the Game Pass, which is pretty
Ooh.
cool, I thought.
Yeah, I got the Oculus.
Probably be super immersive, man. Because like the game looked
You
really good.
need the whole wheel and
Oh, that
shifter
would
and
be
all that
sick.
shit, dude, with the VR
That would be
helmet.
nice.
Oh, that would
Yeah.
be sick.
Yeah.
But
Wish I
yeah,
had
so I
room
played
for
a little
that.
bit of that, and then besides that, so I played that, and that was the Game Pass games that I played. Pretty sure. I have other games on Game Pass that I just haven't launched, but I should. Anyways, another game that I played today was called. This is like a game that I really got into, man. It was called Contraband Police.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing streamers
ended
play
up-
that.
I ended up buying this today after playing the demo because I really enjoyed the demo. Okay, so you guys remember the game Papers, Please, right? Where you're like a border patrol guy and you're like checking people's documents, and you either deny them or you accept them. You let them go through, and you're looking for like their name to match, the photo to match, and all that, right? Like the name, the photo, the date, the expiration date, their birthdays,
Yeah.
their reasoning why they're visiting, all that shit, right? So this is that, but like a 3D version, like an actual like you're like in some ghetto country, like really
Looks
third
like South
world.
America somewhere down in Colombia. I
No,
don't
it
know.
looks like the like in Eastern Europe.
It must be
Yeah,
because
it
when I
looks like
clicked
it's
on this,
some.
Jesus, when I clicked on it
Yeah.
on Twitch, I was watching some Russian guy with his little young kid playing this game. I was like, is this like a Russian game or is
Yes.
this like a new game?
Oh,
You
it's a
know?
made up country. They tell you like anything in this game is made up. It's all the shit's fiction or whatever. But it's like some random country that they made up. Anyways, you legit like it's a 3D space, right? So you're actually like running around. The game starts off. You're like a border patrol guy. You're being taken to like the checkpoint by your buddy or whatever who's driving, and you're driving like this beat up ass like police van, like really ghetto looking police van. And you get out of the car, and then pretty much the game starts off where you pretty much checking, right? It's like simple, it's just like Papers, Please. You're checking the guy for their photo to match. You either deny them or you let them pass. But then the game gets more interesting, right? Then the game starts telling you, okay, look, man, we've been hearing of rumors of guys trying to sneak in contraband into the country. Now, contraband could be a list of things. It could be like anything that's illegal. So, drugs, guns, money, counterfeit money, whatever, right? People, they're smuggling all kinds of shit into the country. So, now you have to pull people out of the car. So, you tell people, step out of the car, please. And then you go into the fucking car, and you got like this little like flashlight, Ryan, that like, it's either you can use it as a flashlight or as like a UV light. And like sometimes you find like this like a little snake symbol on like the seat or the wheel or like the little ceiling, like the little tarp on the ceiling or whatever.
It's a
You see
clue.
it- Yeah, and it's like a clue. But then you go and you grab your knife from the tool station that you have. There's a knife, there's a pitchfork, there's a fucking crowbar, there's like a bunch of different tools, like an axe, I think is one of them. And you go into the fucking car and you start tearing that motherfucker apart, right? You start fucking stabbing the seat. And you're like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm stabbing the seat. Stab the seat. You rip the seat open, and you find a bunch of illegal alcohol, Ryan. All right.
No.
So then you find all this illegal alcohol and you confiscate it. And then you tell the guy, hey, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for contraband. And you put him in a little cell, like a little holding cell in your little fucking checkpoint or whatever. It's like a little holding cell that can hold like
And
I
you
think
go home and you have a party with all
No,
the
it-
alcohol that you just found.
no. It go hold 3 prisoners. Then you put the alcohol in the evidence room. Now it has all those mechanics, right? So you're looking for people for contraband, etc. But then it also changes the game up a little bit. It doesn't have you play as a border patrol checking people for contraband all the time guy. It also tells you like after like I think I had like 2 prisoners in my cell. The maximum it can hold is 3. Like the next day when I woke up, it does the same thing as Papers, Please, where like it has all the money. Like, all right, like you made $300 today, but you have to pay the other cops that work with you $100 to work with you. Then you got like your deduction, your fees, your rent, your food, etc. All that's deducted, and you made $100 today. Anyways, next day starts, but it tells me like, okay, now you have to go and transport the prisoners that you have in your fucking cell. You have to take them to the fucking work camp. That's like it's in the world that you're in, but it's like on the other side of the map or whatever. So you transfer them to the van. You just press like a button and they transfer automatically to the van. You pick up the evidence that you've collected, like any alcohol or drugs in your evidence room. You put them in the van with you, and you go and you drop the dudes off in a prison camp, and you get paid money for that. Then you go and you can go to the police station and drop off all the drugs and contraband to like this cop guy at the police station. And then you can like from there you can go in like to this like store in the middle of like the map. There's like a little shop thing. And you can buy like guns and like more like axes and like crowbars and like batons and shit. And you can like upgrade all your shit, man. Like you can have better stuff. You can upgrade your like your little checkpoint. you can upgrade the little RV you sleep in. Like you sleep in like a little ghetto ass RV, and you can upgrade that shit to like have a nicer room and like, cause like you get like this thing called focus every time you sleep. You have to sleep the 8 hours, and you get this thing called focus. And focus lets you pretty much, when you're looking at somebody's documents, instead of like you having to physically look at everything and like make sure all the numbers match, you can just click on things, and then it'll say, okay, match, 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 match. Oh, this is not a match. So you can just click on like, oh, they're like, you can click on the name, the birthdays, the dates, etc. And some stuff will match, some stuff won't, which is kind of interesting. Um, so yeah, like the focus meter increases every time you upgrade your cabin or the little thing that like, oh, it's like an RV. I'm pretty sure that you're sleeping in. And but yeah, Gunny, the game is cool, dude. So I'm trying to catch these people, right? They're smuggling, like drugs. They got like cows with them sometimes. Sometimes they have like a fridge. Sometimes they're transporting chemicals. Sometimes they're transporting whatever. But you're trying to catch them with contraband. So like you have to go to the back of the truck and you have to like, okay, do they have three refrigerators back here like they say they did? Does this guy have a cow in the back of his car like he said he did? So
Yeah.
you're making sure the cargo list that they're carrying is correct, and then you make sure that they're not carrying any contraband, and you either let them go through or you don't. Every time you let somebody go through that wasn't supposed to go through, because I did that a few times, the game will deduct you, like it'll fine you, like it'll say like, oh, you let that guy go through, but you should have really stopped him because his name didn't match, or his like something was off, like
You had 8
his
kilos of fentanyl. What are you thinking? This
his
ain't America?
his birthday didn't match or whatever, so you let him through and then you get like $100 fine for that or whatever. The game is actually a lot of fun. You get like and there's like this whole other side story going on with like the other police in the area where they're like working with the criminals, and you're like trying to be the good cop, or you could become a crooked cop too. You could like I could take somebody's cocaine, right? Turn around and like there'll be like a guy that comes through every once in a while and he sells you things, Gunny. He'll be like, hey Gunny, I got some new shit. What do you got for me? And you can sell him the cocaine, right? And he'll give you a bunch of money for it. But then you can buy other cool shit from him, like cool guns, like an AK or something. And you can use that to like kill the bad guys that try to set you up or whatever. Um, but yeah, if you like games like Papers, Please, put in a better looking world, way better looking world, and like a 3D space, and you want to stop people at a border and check all their shit and rip their car apart, you can do this in this game. You can like, you legit just tear the fucking car apart, puncture the tires, you open all the doors, you check everything, Gunny, and then you put them under arrest. Yeah.
You are under arrest. You got cocaine in your tires, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Why it says cocaine in your tires? And then you arrest them and you put them in prison, and then they're good. And then you take them to the prison camp to work the
Nice.
rest of their life.
Fuck yeah. Even though they're
Yeah.
innocent. Like,
Yeah,
hell yeah.
and there's also moments where people will just try to run the checkpoint, so they'll just take off in their car, and then you have to get into your ghetto ass police van and chase them down.
Now I
That
see I
shit,
need to upgrade the police van. Yeah.
yes, you can do that as well. But yes, you can upgrade all your shit. You can upgrade your, like I said, you can upgrade the checkpoint you're at to like make it better, more efficient. You can also upgrade your police van. I'm hoping you can get like a better police car, man, because that van is like some fucking. It's like a ghetto looking van. I'm assuming the game is set in like the 1940s, 1950s. But that van is like beat up, dude. Like people are like, what the fuck? This thing is like rusting out.
Yeah.
Has no floor on it. It could
The
barely
police
make it
chief
up
wants
the
to
hill.
tow it, and you're over there going, "No, that's mine. I work for you.
It's my police
It's
van.
not.
What are
It's
you
not
doing?
for homeless. No."
Oh, shit. But anyways, that game is really fun. It's a cool little game, man. I think it cost me like, I think right now it's on sale for like, I don't know, like $2 off. So it's like $17 right now. But there is a demo if you just want to try. You can totally do that. You can just try it. check it out. It's called Contraband Police. But you can tell these guys definitely. You could tell they played Papers, Please, and they thought we could probably do this better, and they kind of have. But I think the game is not very long though. In terms to beat it, I think some people say they could beat it within like 12 hours, 11 hours. But I mean, for $17, 11 hours, there's been a lot more shit that I've paid.
Bad.
Yeah,
I paid the same amount for way worse games or whatever. Like games that lasted 1 hour, 2 hours. There's some really bad games out there. But this game is actually pretty good. So check it out, Contraband Police. It's available on Steam. I do not know if it's on consoles.
I don't think so.
I would doubt that it's on consoles. Like I said, the game is not the greatest looking, but it doesn't look terrible. It's okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna check people and beat them up at the police checkpoint.
Steal their drugs. That's how it is.
You can also you can also just steal the drugs and let them go. Like, hey man, I took your drugs, but you can go. Go ahead.
Right.
I'll let you.
I'm having a good day over here.
I don't want to put you in my prison cell. Like, how about I just take the cocaine and you just go, guy? How about that, huh? Okay. See you next time. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I played this week. I played a lot of shit, I feel like. But I definitely want to play more. I need to beat Hogwarts. I feel like I just don't want to.
Like a Skyrim too, huh? Just do all the side missions. Yeah. Don't want it to end.
Yeah, I don't want it to end, dude. I just want it to stay there forever. Yeah. Anyways. What have you guys been playing besides all the shit that I've been playing?
I don't know.
Nothing?
You've been playing something, Ryan. I know you had me play something today too.
Ryan's been playing
something? Remind me to play something.
Yeah, I've been playing. Well, Pinball Effects finally came out on console.
Oh, what a surprise.
Oh, that too. Yes.
My Discord is frozen though right now, so I don't know if you guys are hearing me properly or not.
We can hear you.
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay. Everything just froze. Okay. I've been playing Pinball Effects. So the neat thing for me is I was at the Epic Store for early access for a long time, and I was actually purchasing my tables through there. And then when the console version came out, they actually lived up to it, and it was a bit of a hassle to get it done. They transferred all my tables from Epic to Xbox, so it was a one-time transfer from the Epic Store to Xbox. But I have them on both still, so it's not really a transfer. It just they gave me the codes to get it on Xbox as well. So that was pretty nice. But it was something that they did promise they were going to do. So
does that matter too? Like, let's say that, because I know you were doing that Epic Store thing, but I wasn't quite sure what was going on over there with Pinball Effects. I know I saw you playing it, so I downloaded the thing, and I was like, "What is this?" I didn't understand it. But is that something you could also do with PS4, PS5?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Discord went all weird again.
Yeah, you did go blank for a moment. So is that something you can do also? Like they said it for Xbox, but is that also for PlayStation 4 and 5?
I don't believe Pinball Effects is on PlayStation 4 and 5 or 4 or Xbox One. I think it's only on Series X and PS5 and Series S.
Okay.
I think. I'm not positive about that, but I think I remember hearing something about that. But anyways, if you were in early access on the Epic Store, you could contact Zen Studios, but you had to buy your games before the game came out on console. So you had to be doing it in early access. And then when the early access ended, they would transfer it to whatever you wanted. If you wanted PS5, you could transfer it to PS5. If you wanted Xbox, you could transfer it to Xbox. If you wanted Steam, I believe you could transfer it to Steam, but it's not out yet on Steam, I don't think. I'm not sure. It might be. I haven't looked on Steam, so I don't know for sure. I remember there being something about the Steam version not not happening yet.
Yeah, and just to clear up any confusion, you could probably explain it a little better if you choose to. But I know obviously we had original Pinball FX, then we had Pinball FX 2, right, which were your kind of your 360 PS3 consoles, and then now Pinball
Pinball
FX
FX
3,
3.
which came out on Xbox One, which is all just kind of a launcher type thing. But I do find it interesting that they went back to just let's call it Pinball FX, So it looks a little different, but yeah.
Well, it's in the Unreal Engine now. They made a bunch of changes. So I don't know. I like it, but I was so used to the old way that it's like a little jarring. I think it's going to take some time to get used to, but it feels really different too.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed, I don't know if there's just a way to do it where, so now that I'm playing and we game share, I have access to all these tables, which is great. So it just kind of shows me that all-time record for everyone. But I don't see one for friends. So
I haven't seen that either, Gunny. There is a spot that you would think it would be because it says all, and you think you'd be able to switch it to friends, but there's no way to switch it. I haven't been able to do it yet. So I don't know if that's something that's coming later or what's happening with that.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they just kind of want to keep this like hey, this is Pinball FX. This is for your Epic, your Steam, your PS4, 5, your Xbox X consoles, or so that's fine. So, but it would be nice if they could add something to say, hey, let's add friends. So whether that person's on Steam or Epic or PS5, I'd like to be able to keep it that way. Like, so that way I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm closed in on the Xbox console itself.
Yeah, so. I think you should be able to do that.
Yeah,
well, no, because everything isn't based on friends list anymore. It's based on worldwide leaderboards.
Yeah, and I saw those worldwide leaderboards. I was like, oh my gosh, like this guy got like 4 billion points. Like, it's just insane.
Some of them are crazy, but
yeah.
And they announced that they got 500,000 or 500 million users, concurrent users or something. So it's doing well,
Yeah. Yeah, it's I like that. So that tells me that like that's cool. I hope that when kind of sort of like this Epic thing where it's like, hey, we're gonna do this like we've got this build of a table. We want to feature it, showcase it, put it in, even if it's a trial. Like, I don't want to feel like, hey, oh, but it's only on Epic or it's only on Steam. It's like you can't access an Xbox. You can't. It's just no. So that'll be nice to say that. Fuck it, no, I played this shit on my console or whatever. So yeah, that'll be nice. I like it. It just seems more streamlined now.
Yeah,
but
and I'm sure it'll get better. I mean, there was another thing that was supposed to happen. Pinball Royale was supposed to happen, and it just disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. Once the launch came out, it was removed from the game altogether, and it's just gone now. So
I want a Pinball 99. Give it to me.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, I think because they did do a test, and I did get invited to it, but I never tried it. And I wonder if they just got really bad feedback from it or something.
Yeah,
and they just canceled it altogether. It's weird.
I don't know. Keep it Pinball 12 or something if they want to keep it, simple, or just 12's. That could be a battle royale, 12 people.
I think it was more like who can survive on the table the longest, like a 1-ball challenge almost, but with like lots of different people.
Yeah.
And it's like you just have to try and survive as long as you can. I think that's how it went, but I didn't get, I never got a chance to try it, so I don't know.
Nice. I like those. I can already see how that would just be awesome where, the other people, they start, failing or whatever. And it's like, oh, like your ball gets saved or whatever. Like it's not drained. Like, boom, you're back in it, man. You're still there. So yeah. That would be nice.
There's some new modes like that too, Gunny. Like like the 5-minute time mode. Like you can just keep going. It doesn't matter what happens. The balls doesn't matter. If it goes out, it just fires a new one around, and you just keep going for 5 minutes and see how high of a score you can get. There's another mode where it's like you get 200 flips. So you can only flip your flippers 200 times, and then the game's over.
Oh,
so
okay.
however many points you can get in those 200 flips, that's what you get. There's a bunch of different new modes. Check out the modes. It's not just arcade and classic anymore.
Okay.
There's a couple of new modes to play around with, and you might like those. Like, I find people that are maybe not so good at pinball have more fun with those, because even if they go out, they still get to keep going. You know what I mean? And I find that they'll learn the tables too, right?
Yeah.
Like, because then you start learning, hey, that ramp does that, because you don't have to worry about, the ball went out, now I'm starting over again, right? Like, it keeps going, and you just keep firing at the ramps, and you get a feel of where the ramps are, and away you go, right? You start learning the table and having fun.
I believe there's also a training mode, right? Which is just how the
Yep,
regular
and
pinball effects. Those are cool. Those are cool too. Where it's like,
it'll
all right, I'm not
teach you
gonna look at the
things.
score. Yeah, just
It'll
go.
teach you, like what ramps you're supposed to hit and what places you can hit to start modes and stuff like that. Some people learn that on their own. Some people can go in and read the stuff and figure a table out before. I'm more of a play it and figure it out on my own kind of thing. And then if there's things that I'm missing, I'll look up later, But yeah, you can go in even and go into the table notes, and it tells you like what moves, what ramps do what, and what, you can learn the whole table that way if you want to.
Yeah. Nice. I played that. I think it was the Homeworld table.
Yep.
Homeworld. Yeah. So, man, did I suck at that. But I
Oh,
want to
really?
say I played it. Yeah, I don't know. I think because I was playing what was I playing? Hogwarts or fucking whatever I was playing yesterday. I was like, damn. And then I just immediately went and played that on the TV. Which has a high refresh rate. But I was like, what the fuck? Like, I suck at this. I immediately quit out of it after like the third game. I was like, no. All right. But I'm sure the next time I go into it, it'll be like, oh man, like you should see my score. I got over 200,000,
Yeah.
So, usually how it goes.
What else did you play? What other
think-
tables did you play?
I don't remember. I think Homeworld and something else. I can't remember what other table I played. I only played like 2,
Wow.
but I downloaded all of them.
I really like not Curse of the Mummy. Oh, the one with the octopus on it. Wrath of something. Damn, I can't remember.
Is it a newer one or classic?
Yeah, it's one of the new Zen Studios tables. And it's really good. A lot of the new Zen Studio tables were really fun. I liked them a lot.
Yeah.
Sky Pirates was really good. And then like all the other tables that they've come over with like new new graphics and stuff like that, like a total overhaul. The engine's runs a little smoother, I think, than the old engine did. It feels a little bit better sometimes. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't. I've started to get used to the new lag feel because I was used to the old way, and it was a little weird transitioning at first. It took me a little time.
Yeah.
I wasn't putting up scores that I normally put up on tables because I was still feeling out the physics a bit. But you get them. It takes a little bit, and you'll get into them.
Yeah. Gotta play that table at least.
But did you get Pinball Pass as well?
It talked about it in the beginning, but I didn't check to see if it. But it asked me to, it's available.
Before I didn't get my tables right away. So before I got my tables, I was like, screw it, and I just bought Pinball Pass for 1 month, so that I could just play all the tables. Didn't matter. Yeah, and I didn't know if that would transfer to you as well, but I don't think it does because you have to buy that through tickets. still.
Okay.
So I think that that's why you didn't get that. But I was curious to see whether it did work through Game Share or not, but I guess not. Next time you go in, look at your tag, like where your gamer tag is, like where your little, you know what I'm talking about, where your name is and the little plate that's there. And underneath your name, it'll say Pinball Pass in like rainbow colors.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, I'll check that actually.
Yeah.
I can just click on that now. But yeah, I'll definitely get in there, and I've just been playing so much other stuff, so I was like, I need to get in there, download this, and
You didn't try the Borderlands table?
oh, that's the one I played. Thank you. Of course, I played
Okay.
Borderlands. I was like,
Yeah.
I know I played something video game related. Yeah. So
Because there's that Borderlands, and what was it, Brothers in Arms or whatever, like the other one was. Those are the 3 Gearbox ones.
yeah. I know I've played that before. I think it was on. Let's see. Just exit out of here. Exit this.
No,
table.
Brothers in Arms is a new table.
Okay, is that like the World War II based thing?
It is. Yeah.
Like the game?
Yeah, it is the game. Like it's like
So it does show on my gamer
pinball table.
Yeah. Okay. It's just showing on my thing here. So it has that gear next to my gamer tag.
No, that's just your settings. It would say underneath your gamer tag, it would say Pinball Pass.
Okay. No, it just shows. It doesn't show it.
Yeah, so it probably doesn't work through Game Share.
Yeah.
That makes sense though. I didn't think it would. I was just curious. So yeah, and then I've been playing some Hogwarts Legacy as well. Or did you play any other pinball tables, Gunny, or was that it?
No, it was just those 2.
Just those 2? Yeah.
Damn, every pinball, you always guess exactly which tables it is. Wow.
So yeah, if you like pinball, go check it out. There's one free table, which would be Wild West.
Yes,
Rampage.
my favorite.
And it's a pretty cool table to check out and see if you want to have some fun. And then you can do what I did and get Pinball Pass for 1 month. It's like $20. And then you can find out what tables you like and what you don't like. And which ones you want to buy and which ones you don't, and then buy the tables that you like and don't worry about the rest of it. You know? So Pinball Pass is kind of cool for that, but I wouldn't pay it monthly. Like that's just silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, why would I pay for that every month? Maybe if they come out with
you're
a batch
because you're a hardcore pinball guy, right?
I know, but I'll just buy the tables that I like, and then I'll have the tables that I like. I don't have to worry about it, and then I own them. You know, so.
Yeah, 30 days, 150 tickets.
But it's good for, like I said, like I was going to say, if they put out like a big, huge batch of tables and I haven't played any of them yet and I want to check them out, I'll get another month of Pinball Pass, check out those tables, and then figure out which ones I like and if I want to buy any of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be cool for that, I guess.
Nice.
But other than that, I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy and it's not really catching me. I see it's a cool game. I get it, but I don't know. I think I'm in a bit of a funk lately. I'm just not feeling a lot of games. And the other thing I've been playing is Dead Cells. I picked up the Castlevania DLC. And I don't know, some people have been saying that, it's so hard to find. It's not that hard to find. It's like it's in the first level. All you got to do is find a door, just like you do with any other part of the first level. You would find a door and go to the next level. Well, you got to find the Castlevania door to get to the Castlevania level. So you go to the castle one and you go through and you're in there. Like, it's not that hard to figure out. It's really, if you play Dead Cells at all, you should know that. Yeah, and it's really cool. It's got a lot of Castlevania music. It's got two or three biomes. I can't remember how many. And then it's got a whole bunch of music, and they've got new Dead Cells themed music that's Castlevania inspired. And yeah, and it'd been a long time since I'd been in there. I didn't know about the boss rush that was in there. Apparently that was in there before, but I haven't played for a while. So there's like this one area you can go in and you could just face all the bosses. You don't have to worry about the levels. And then you could kind of learn how the bosses, patterns are. So you can go back into the levels and go in and finish the bosses when you get to them, right? You get an idea of how their patterns are going and whatnot. And it makes it a little easier because that is a tough thing. It's a tough pill to swallow when you get to like the third boss and then he kills you and you got to start all the way back at the beginning again. Yep. Like you're doing it all over again,
There was
That's just how the game is.
Yeah, I want to say I played it on Steam when it first came out, when they kind of added this, it wasn't even, they had bosses, right? Which was who did I say it was earlier? Ryan, I forgot the boss name or whatever it was, but it's kind of like one of the first ones. I don't know if he's down in the sewer or somewhere. But they also had it where you can fight enemies too. So I'm sure that's still in there, but it was kind of like an early thing early on. It was kind of like, oh, this is kind of lame. Like,
no, this is just right at the beginning.
Yeah.
If you drop down into the hole, you'll go down and through a door, and then you'll be able to just face every boss one after the other. You go in one door, it's one boss. You kill him, you come out that door, you go into the next door, it's the next boss. You kill him, you come out, you go into the next door, it's the next boss. You kill him. So there's no level in between. It's just all the bosses in a row.
Right.
And then you can unlock blueprints and stuff that way as well.
Yeah, I think you can grab some weapons from a guy too before you go in there.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you get to grab weapons and stuff. So yeah, and there's Castlevania style inspired weapons as well in the game. There's a boomerang and a whip and a shield and a couple of other ones. Yeah,
might have been I don't know if it was the big ice grenade or if that was in the regular game.
Well, that was in the regular game.
Yeah. But boy, I got my ass kicked in Castlevania. Yes, yeah. So you were like, "Hey, I bought the DLC," and I'm like, "Okay, shit, I barely play this game. Let me go back in it." So I'm playing it, right? And I'm like, "Well, I'm not finding anything." Well, what I realized, Ryan, was I didn't download any DLC, or none of it was downloaded.
I've got all of it, Gunny? I have it all.
You have it all, because I went in, I'm like, okay, let me download that. All right, so downloaded that. And yeah, like I said, it was pretty easy to find. Like, so there's one YouTube video that I went to that said, oh, well, you have to die 3 times. Then that's when you're in that beginning area, that's when you'll see like the bats flying across, the red bats. And then that means that it's activated or something. I was like, oh, that's weird. But I think that video was pertaining to almost like, so if you didn't buy the Castlevania DLC, I think that's what he was trying to say. Like, you can still go in there. Maybe it was a trial. I don't know. So, but weird. I saw the bats and I was like, okay. So I just kept going right, and then boom, you talk to this guy, and he's like, yeah. So why don't you meet me downstairs?
Maybe it gives you 3 attempts, and that it'll make the first door your Castlevania door or something like that.
Yeah.
But I've always just kept looking until I found the Castlevania door. That's what I did.
Yeah. So I just kept going right. Boom, found it. Down the steps, through the door. I got in there and was like, oh, that's cool. It's got like this big, moat ramp or whatever, but it's up. And I was like, where do I need to? Oh, I need to go down first, kind of like under the water, go across, fight some enemies. Then I can get up and, lower the bridge down.
Yeah.
And then boom, like I just got my ass handed to me. I was like,
okay. Really?
Yeah. These guys.
You didn't even make it up the tower?
I don't think I did make it. I just made it up to where I was able to lower the bridge. Then I just kept, again, just kind of moving right. Only made it so far. Then I think 2 elites. I don't know. They could have been regular. They weren't like the frickin' fish guys or whatever they were, the Castlevania dudes. But man, they kicked my ass hard. I think I took only a couple hits on that.
The big guys with wings?
Yeah, I can't remember. They were so fast.
Or the snakes that spit fire at you.
That might have been the fire, because I'm like, I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna jump to the right and kind of like
you gotta duck or roll under their shots.
Right, I have to learn that one, because I went to the right and I'm like, I'm gonna stay back and try and see if I can pick at him a little bit with my bow. But there was a guy behind me, like a little guy, right? It wasn't even like a main big guy. And he's like, "Hey, you sucker!" And he just fucking hit me in the back. And I died. I was like,
Oh,
"Where
wow.
the fuck did you come from?" I actually had to laugh on that. I was like, "Wow, this game is not messing around." So I was like, "Okay, you know what? I think I went back and and then the bridge was down the second time." So it was just easier to kind of walk across because it's a roguelike, right? So it wasn't the same, but at least they had the bridge down this time. And yeah, I just got to learn those. I just got to keep going back at it, right?
It's a new pattern you have to learn.
Yeah, learn what they're doing, and go from there. So also I'm like, oh, now I want to explore more, right? So I went to the other areas, and there were 2 more pieces of DLC you bought that I didn't have downloaded. I was like, son of a bitch. So I went back in. Now I have it all downloaded and was able to actually go back in and actually play those parts.
Yeah,
of
there's
the DLC.
3 or 4 of them. I can't remember, but I know I bought them all. So
yeah, I think there was like 3 paid DLCs or whatever I had to download. So thanks for that. That was cool. Like I really got to explore a lot of the. I just was in the mood for some Dead Cells today. So
yeah, man. And if you haven't played Dead Cells, go check it out. Now's the time. There's another good refresh out for it. So if you haven't checked it out, it's a good game, man.
Yeah,
worth your time.
Yeah, we were talking in our chat, and Mayo's a huge fan. And right at the beginning, so I like to kind of explore a little bit of everything, and I'll press the action button on, oh, what's this? What does that have to say? And so right off the bat, when you start off, it's like you come across like this little scroll.
Yeah, tells you about all the different games.
Yeah, and that was cool. And I was like, what is this, right? And it's just talking about all these other roguelike games that, I mean, these are games that they didn't even make, right?
Games that have they have skins for your character in the game. Guacamelee, Hyperlife Drifter. God, I can't remember the other ones. There's a bunch of them.
Was it Terraria? Was in? I was like, why are they talking about Terraria? I think
there's if you go into the skins for your character, you can change into those characters. But I think you have to unlock them somewhere.
I really like that default blue like outfit that I'm wearing or armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the green one on.
It's awesome. My favorite color is blue, so I'm like, I like keeping this one. But yeah, I thought that was cool. And then and then of course your character's reacting to, yeah, okay, good for him, like yeah, whatever. It was just cool how he's reacting to the different games they were kind of briefly describing, and then you're just kind of off to it, right? So go play, and I'd go play. Right, I guess my brain's wired a little different. I'll go in, I'll start it out, and I'm like, why is this guy with a shield? Why is he low-leveled fucking why is he kicking my ass? Why has he got me down to like half health? Damn, what am I doing? And then boom,
he whacks you good with a shield when he comes at you.
And then you figure, okay, I'll I make it so far, use my potion, and then I'm like, I suck it, and then I'll come back and I'm like, fuck, fucking nobody hit me. I'm like, I'm unstoppable,
Yeah.
I'm moving.
You get the right weapon too, right? And it makes things a lot easier.
I try to stick with that default weapon for as long as possible. I don't know if I like that sword that, once you start mashing that A button, that it starts really spinning around. Yeah. I feel like that kind of animations, like, I want to be able to jump, or
you got to get
something.
used to, you got to, there's a lot of weapons that have like long wind up times and stuff like that. And you have to kind of get used to them when you get them. But a lot of the times those weapons are super powerful.
Yeah.
If you get the timing down, you can just destroy everything. But it's a matter of getting that timing down, because sometimes they're really hard,
Yeah. So that electric whip, man, that one's cool, because let's say there's a guy with a shield. Again, not a very, high skilled, powered enemy, but it's like, all right, you got to kind of time it right, or jump over him, go around him, do some hits on him. You can kill him in 3 or 4 whacks, but not with the electric whip. Just straight at him, man. It just goes right through the shield or underneath it and just zaps his ass, right? It's like, yes, yeah, come get some. It's like, All right, back to swinging the sword again. Yeah, it's just fun.
And with the whip, if you hit him right with the tip of the whip, it does critical damage.
That must be it, because I thought,
Yeah.
how did I kill him in like 2 shots? What the hell? This whip is awesome. Yeah, I just cracked him in the face. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so Dead Cells, check it out. Return to Castlevania DLC just came out, and
it's on Game
there's
Pass.
lots of other DLC out there for it, and yeah, it's on Game Pass as well. So if you haven't played it, I would check it out. What else have I been playing? Obviously, I've been still playing Grounded. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that game. If you haven't played it and you're into survival games, what's wrong with you? That game is so much fun.
It is. Play with friends, guys. Play with randos. Maybe you'll find a friend to play with who has time during the time that you play. Yep, you might learn a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm just basically building now. Like, just decided to start a couple of projects around the yard, and I've been slowly working on them all. Right now, I'm building a huge castle in the tree. So there's a big oak tree in the middle of the map, and I'm building this big, huge castle around the tree so that I can run zip lines to all the places I need to get to from the top of the tree. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I've been doing in that. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of building. I'm not really fighting anything anymore. I'm just collecting resources and building.
Sound like my satisfactory time.
Yeah, you should come in and check it out now, Gunny. It's a lot different than the last time you were there.
Yeah. Now that's the one that you and your friend had that kind of really cool base. Yeah. That thing was super efficient, that base. Let me tell you, that thing had, for the small amount of space that you had, I mean, it wasn't small, but you just had everything in there. So
it grew. It's a lot bigger now.
Nice.
But it covers the whole box that was there. The whole base is over top of that entire box.
It's
now.
really gone out there then.
Yeah. And then the one in the tree is going to be even bigger that I'm building.
Put in a basketball court, football stadium. Nice, man.
I'll probably do a basketball court in this one in the tree.
I was joking.
No,
you're not joking, are you?
There's basketball hoops, so I could actually do basketball.
Damn. Okay. Hey. I'm over here sitting here trying to figure out how to make a ladder. How do I do this? Or is it ant?
Ladders are expensive, man. A lot of sticks for ladders.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much about it, except for a couple of games that I've been playing with my daughter, which is Wobbly Life and what the hell was I playing? The Paw Patrol Grand Prix, and what's the other thing? She's been watching me play a little bit of Hogwarts too, which I don't know. She's not really getting into it either, so that's part of the reason why maybe I'm not getting into it so much. I was kind of hoping to be something I could play with her. What was the last thing I've been playing? Minecraft. Yeah. I started doing creative mode with her in Minecraft because she keeps breaking stuff, so I figured go in creative mode, so if she breaks it, I can at least replace it quickly.
Yeah. I love creative mode.
So, and it lets her kind of build. She actually, we started a little project where she actually, I left her alone for a few minutes to fool around with it, and I came back and she had built the corner of a house with a door. And I was like, whoa, where did this come from? She goes, I was just building, Daddy. I just built this. I picked my blocks. I put them out. And I was like, oh, wow. I'm like, okay, well, let's take this tiny bit of structure that you've done and let's figure out what to do with it. So I used the same color scheme she was using, and we just kept going. And we built this little house, and we got I dug a big hole underneath it and put a glass floor in. And then I put all these fish underneath the floor. So she sits in the house and looks down at the fish that are underneath the floor.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so just had fun in Minecraft. Fun to play with a kid.
Yeah, Oh
Right.
yeah, remember that? Remember that, Ryan? Do you remember the one time probably one of the most devastating moments I've had, like in playing a game? No, I don't know. One of the saddest, I would say, moments.
Yeah,
Shocking.
wasn't it your kid killed your dog or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. That just was like the most jarring experience I've ever had, like in a video game. I know it's crazy to sound like
No.
it, but yeah, like where he what is it called? It's called the Flint, I think. Like that's like the fire starter.
Yeah.
When But you got to remember, guys. You got to remember how, Ryan. You got to understand there was no creative mode, right? So when this first came to Xbox, you just had
Yeah.
your, just your survival mode. So, and in order to get a dog, right, which wolf dog, whatever it is, right? This thing, I think you had to feed it 3 bones or something,
Yep.
and then it would become your pet, right? Like it would show the hearts, and then
And
you
then they
know
follow you around and
follow you
attack things
around. You
for
could
you and
take it
stuff
back to
like that.
your whatever little home you've got.
Yeah.
I think you can have it sit in one place, or you can make a little doggy house for it. And I was just so proud that after like so many hours of us playing together, I don't know if it was on the same screen, split screen, but it was like, yes, we finally got a dog, Kyle. We finally got a dog. Oh my god, I'm gonna make a dog house, and I'm gonna have little food for it, and it's gonna have water, and it's gonna be our pet. And then he's over there with a flint, just and the fucking dog goes up in flames. I was like, you, what the? Like, of course, I didn't like. How old was Kyle at the time? He was so young, right? And I was like, man, I had to get up for a moment, guys. And I was like, I was doing that thing, with my nose. I was like, just trying not to be so emotional about it. Yeah, it was a moment, man. I was like, oh my god, like, I'll never have another fucking dog in a game again. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was something I'll never forget. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
I think that's all I've been playing though, Gunny. What have you been playing?
So just go back to Pinball Effects real quick.
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
So what I've noticed on here I'm just about to start up that Wrath of the Elder Gods. God, that
That
table,
was the game I was
that,
talking about.
that table looks
Wrath of the Elder
pretty.
God. I love
Yeah.
that table. It's really fun.
Yeah. And I like the octopus, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so over on the leaderboards, so the ones that show like the Xbox symbol are the ones that you can either check out their profile or add them as friends. So,
Oh,
but then
okay.
the other people are Epic and Steam. I don't think it shows. It just shows like, yeah, it doesn't show. It just shows they're on other platforms. Um, but anyway, so yeah. Besides Hogwarts Legacy, anything else here that I don't think me and Jesus talked about those. But another game I've been playing guys a lot of lately. I don't know why. Is that Project Zomboid? I talk about this game periodically. Like I'll play it over a weekend or something, and then I won't touch it for a couple weeks. So, but yeah, I thought I just want to get a little, I want to get more progress in this game. Figure out more about what's it about. I watch streams on it, or yeah, like what the fuck am I supposed to be doing in this game? Besides just collecting shit from people's houses and stuff. So, but I've been doing a lot of mods. So what I found out was, and I think I had this correct because I reached out to somebody on a YT vid about, for example, this weapons pack, this Brita weapons pack mod. So it seems to be very popular up near the top of the list. And I'm like, okay, cool, I want that, and the Better Guns mod or whatever other one you have to download or subscribe to. So, and I'm like, okay, well, how the hell do I even where do I find this stuff? Is there like a cheat code thing that I need to put in once I'm in game? Is it in a chest somewhere? Like, is there just going to be like 100 guns that just fall from the sky? Like, I could not figure this thing out. So I finally reached out, and he's like, because they show all these videos, right, on YouTube, like, oh yeah, this is the armor and all the guns and everything. And I'm like, I reached out, I'm like, well, where do I find these? Like, he goes, oh, you have to grind these out or whatever. You have to seek them out, man. You have to seek everything out. You have to go find everything. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, you're talking about like, could take me 20 hours. It could take me 80. Yeah, that's what you have to do. Right. And I'm like, fuck. But I'm like, all right, fine. Like, I guess I'm not going to find maybe everything, but I think yesterday I made extremely good progress. So I think this is the way it works on pretty much every map, unless you're playing like a custom sandbox thing where I downloaded this map, a popular one. I can't think of the name of that map right now, but it's huge. It's like 4 vanilla maps like all put together. So, it's like big tall skyscraper buildings, not skyscrapers, but big apartments, and just a lot of shit, like a lot of houses and military bases and stuff like that. But I would say like the bases I found they're not huge. They've got a couple big tents where they'll have that's where I'll find a lot of the weapons and ammo canisters and stuff like that. So, but once I've gone in, I'm like, all right, I might survive for, it'll say, oh, you survive for, like 36 hours or whatever, or basically you survive for 2 weeks or something, right? Because I don't know how much time is like in an actual game hour, but time obviously goes a little faster. So I found out where I can go to a house, right? I can kind of make it my base. I don't have all the right skills, right? I could read so many books to teach me, carpentry or be an electrician or what's the other one? Foraging and better at aiming down weapons and shit like that. So, but you find all these books throughout the game, in different houses and stuff. So, but what I was able to do is get back to the house because I know I'm going to die, right? Like I'm so infected. It kind of shows you where your health is going down after you sleep. And I'm like, okay, it's terminal. And it even kind of shows you like, you've only got so much time left. Well, I can store my weapons, in the house. It's already got like maybe a couple barricaded windows on it, with a couple ply boards, that are like, it's pretty secure. So I can just keep that metal garage door closed. So I'll try to store all my weapons, and usually I don't think it matters like if I die inside the house or even outside of it, but as long as I store shit, right? I know when I go to start a new character, hopefully I'm not too far away. So far so good on that modded map where it's not too much of a trek. I can kind of hit some houses on my way there. And actually find my old self turned into a zombie, right? And then, kill my old self if I had anything on there. I don't think it's always going to be like the same inventory that you had before, but boom, I can go back into the house and everything's there. Like everything that I had in all the storage containers and in the refrigerator for all the food. So it's like, okay, like this is that carrot on the stick for me, right? So I want to keep going and I want to be more careful this time. Right. So, I can last longer and make sure, that, I'm eating and drinking water and, at the same time going out and finding, more books to, upgrade all my different skills and, and killing zombies at the same time. So I've just been mainly just using the baseball bat because I have not figured out some of the weapons. Like, for example, it'll be like 9mm or I don't know. I think they have like 38 rounds or whatever. But it's like, wait, what gun does what, right? Like I'm not a big like I got to go in there and look at it, but it just never shows me like how many bullets are in the gun. So the one thing I've always had good luck with is like the shotgun, right? Because it seems like the 12 gauge is always, in plenty. But still, I always revert back to that baseball bat. But make sure you carry 2 of those because you can get a lot of zombie kills with that baseball bat. But at the same time, it will break after so long, unless you have all this shit in your inventory to I wouldn't say a lot of stuff, but it's like you got to have duct tape and whatever else that you need to repair the baseball bat. But again, that's just going to weigh you down, right? If it's in a backpack or something. But yeah, I like it because it's got, like, you can be at home. Let's say, you're going to take time to do some exercises, like actual push-ups, right? To kind of strengthen your character. Take your medicine and your vitamins. It's like just like being at home. So, everything is just for, kind of preparing you for, to go out. But yeah, so far I really haven't in this map. It seems like it really lacks a lot of vehicles that are actually running, I think, or even the ones that I've even found where I'm like, where the fuck are all the cars? So it's definitely set up that way where I'll go out like, oh my gosh, I found a car. Oh, okay. Oh, and it's got a key to it, but it's got no gas. Well, I need a gas can. All right, I'll go up the road a little bit. Oh, I found an empty gas can. That's not gonna help. What car was it? Shit. Which one? Now I don't remember which one it was. Oh wait, I did. I found the car, that had it. Well, I still have an empty gas can. So, all right. I'm like, crap. Then I have to decide, right? Do I want to put the empty gas can in the car, or keep it with me on my inventory? Hoping I don't die, right? And I can just go find a gas station. But from my experience, whenever I get around a gas station, it's like there's too many zombies out there. They seem to corral around gas stations, I think, for obvious reasons, right? They don't want you to get fuel. They hate high gas prices as much as I do. But yeah, so I've never been successful at that. What I've been successful is just you can always walk faster than a zombie. Unless you're walking like backwards or whatever with, like let's say a melee weapon in your hand, then yeah, they'll actually catch up with you. So if there's too many, just walk away. You can always run and try and evade them if you have an objective, to get into a building. You don't want them to follow you in the building. But there are just a fuck ton of zombies, like in certain areas, especially on this modded map, man. Maybe in the residential there's not that many, which is nice. So I've been able to actually go in and really just pick through these houses and gather a lot of stuff, and like hardware and food and medicine and bandages and stuff like that. So, because that's another thing you have to keep up on is, let's say you accidentally get bitten. They just call it a scratch, right, in the game. So I'm like, fuck, he fucking bit me or whatever. It's like, all right, you got scratched. Well, you can either just, if you don't have bandages, you can take a shirt from anywhere, right? It's on a zombie, it's in houses. Tear that up, use that as a bandage, and then that has to be changed out periodically. So yeah, if you're not paying attention to that, right? Like, if you kind of ignore it, right, that could turn the tide for you becoming terminally ill. And fucking just dying, right? So turn into a zombie on the spot. So I mean, it takes a little while, but yeah, make sure you're definitely changing your bandages. There's another thing you can pick up, alcohol wipes. If you find those are like, keep those with you, right? So yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of busy work, right? So especially with inventory but now I've, like I said, I've got a base. I feel like it's a good base. It's nothing like you would watch on YouTube, right? With all kinds of defenses and shit. But it's like, cool, man. I've got a good amount of inventory and pretty decent amount of food. So I just hope that, when I do go back and play this game, which I believe every time you sleep, the game saves. So, that could be like maybe I think you can only do it like maybe once an hour, unless you're sick, right? Then you would obviously sleep more. So, yeah. So I think that's when it saves, or it could be also when you rest. It'll kind of tell you like, man, take it easy. You're out of breath or something, or you're feeling a little weak, queasy. So it's like it'll actually let you, take a rest, which you just kind of stand in one place for like, activate it, and then 5 seconds later you're good. But I think the game is saving at that point. I haven't researched that to see if that's true. But yeah, so far so good. It just goes back and I can continue on from where I left off at, whatever, bedroom I was in. So yeah, I don't know. I want to keep going with it. I want to learn the weapons, and I want to be like those guys on Twitch, man, where they're just kind of standing there like fucking Rambo in the road and just picking off zombies like there's no tomorrow. So that's what I want. I want to get some of those good, not the melee weapons, but like you're kind of like those pokers, man. These big fucking poles, man. They can just like take out 3 zombies at once. So, but it looks like I got to put the work in for it, So hopefully it's all worth it in the end, and I'll actually get there and learn some of that stuff. So yeah, I've been having more fun with it. So I'm gonna keep playing it. The other game that was on Game Pass, I don't know much about it because there's a million of them out there, and I don't think I've played it before. But Brian, it's that Warhammer 40K Inquisitor Martyr. So it's that. To me, it's like a top-down, but it's an action RPG. Yeah, just kind of went through the first stages on it, and yeah, more Diablo-esque. So you're everything's like a cooldown, whether you're like shooting your gun, which is pressing A on Xbox controller, or Y is kind of that closer up, for enemies, and yeah, I think left and right trigger is like that's a new feature to me. So it's like a teleport, which is kind of cool. So I think you can choose where to teleport, on the section that you're at, so you can kind of evade enemies, or you can just press them really quick to kind of get yourself out of a jam. So there's probably a cooldown, but I think it's pretty low. So that's cool. At least you can do that if they're all kind of firing from one position. So I don't know. It's Warhammer, so I'm sure that one's out there for the fans that like you're like top-down action games. So that one's actually pretty cool. So yeah. Other than that, like I mentioned before, I think it was on Steam. They might have had a free weekend, Jesus, for that F1 Manager 22. So I believe you played that on mobile, but everything you described. So I went through like the whole thing. So all the way through the management system from kind of the beginning until I had ended the race. So it's not something for me. It's not a game for me. Yeah, it was cool to kind of like, I wouldn't say I was setting a budget, but yeah, I guess where I was spending the money. So right off the bat, you can decide how much upgrades you want to do. Not upgrades, but the research on what you want to do, whether it's the spoiler or better tires or this or that. So I think I chose two different options, and I did those, and then it was like, okay, I don't know what the fuck. Am I supposed to do more in the beginning of the game or not? So I think I made like a bigger boardroom to make people, to make those people happier, and I can get more shit, I guess, right? Stuck with the two default drivers for, I think I was using, trying to think, it wasn't Red Bull, but it might have been, damn, I can't think of the name of the car company now who I was with. Alfa Romeo, I think it was. And I'm like, all right, cool. So, but it was just too many menus. Like that was my thing where I'm like, no more. I can't do menus, man. I'm just playing menus at this point. That's what that game was about. And yeah, so, but I went through it. I'm like, all right. So then it kind of like, you advance like just like an F1, any F1 game, right? You kind of advance forward, right? Like, okay, now it's 2 days before the race. And then it's just asking you like, do you really just want to confirm like, more emails from your sponsor, and you can kind of respond to them in a way like where you can say, yes to this or that, or no. It's just shit like that. So, but once the race actually started, I'm like, all right, let's do it. Obviously both drivers are, well, so in the beginning, like, there's the trials, right? To kind of see how they do. And so I want to say like in the trials, like it even gives you the option, like if you want to take over the car, and I'm like, no, I don't. This is a sim. Let the fucking sim play it, because I'm not playing it, okay? This is not a game you're supposed to play, but I just chose it to see how it's doing. I just wanted to test it out, and okay, this is what he qualified at. All right, and then you can send your second driver out. I think you can send them both out damn near at the same time. It doesn't matter. But yeah, you send them both out, and they both qualify, obviously, right? Just on their own. Like, it's not like they fail. So then it becomes race day, and I'm like, you know what? So I'm going to race. I'm going to actually get in the race because this is what I want to do, because if it let me do it in the trial, boom. No, you can't drive the car, in the race. What are you kidding me? And I'm like, well, fuck you, game, It's like, all right, yeah, this is definitely not for me. But I think I came in like 5th and 7th place. So obviously you still, out of like what 24 fucking drivers, you still win money. Not first place, but yeah, I think even like my last guy, I just call him like guy number 2. He literally ran out of fuel just maybe a few hundred feet before the finish line. I was like, yeah, I suck at this because I was burning up fuel, right? Because that's one thing one of 3 things you can actually choose while the race is going on, right? To kind of increase your fuel consumption, right? Or your power, or I think there was something else, like a third thing that you can actually change. So, and those could be toggled, right? So they don't always have to be on the entire race. It's just like, use more power to pass up drivers or something. You can kind of just be in that first person mode, and be like, yeah, pass this guy up or whatever. It's like watching the actual race itself, right? Switch back to the other guy. All right, what's he doing? Well, he's kind of falling behind. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, just use more fuel, man, so you can go faster. And he kind of sucked anyway, like the second guy, right? I think it was done on, it was by design, of course. So I'm like, all right, I'll leave him alone. I'll just let his gas just run out, right? So he almost made it to the finish line. I was really surprised, but the game really followed through, man. You will run out of fuel. I made sure they kind of both pitted, not early, but kind of halfway through the race, because you can only pit once, right? That must be like an F1 thing. And so what is it? Oh, you can pit, change tires, but you cannot fuel up, is what it is. So, which is weird, but anyway, maybe I'm thinking NASCAR is where you actually put more fuel in, longer laps, right? So yeah, it's like end of the fucking race, and you get your money and stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm done with the trial. I'm not going to go back to that, but definitely I will go back to an F122, right? I will definitely play that more, where I can actually do like actual racing, and like Jesus said, I'll do like more light management, which I actually enjoyed. I actually, because you do get to choose like research points, and make other decisions, like not super heavy ones in the menu. So you can choose not to. You can totally skip like the whole fucking like some of the trial stuff and just move right into the race and go. So yeah, not for me, Jesus. Not the fucking management. So, but yeah, that's about what I've been playing, guys.
Yeah, I like the mobile game a lot, man. You should try it out, dude. I said it was $6, I think, on the App Store, but I think you would like it a lot, especially on your iPad.
Yeah,
I think you're gonna find yourself playing that shit for a few hours before you go to bed every day.
that would that would be a good iPad game, right? Yeah,
would be a great app. I don't ever use my iPad. I have it right here next to me right now, and I was thinking I'm gonna download that game on my iPad.
yeah. But real quick, Jesus. Oh, I forgot about this. I think it was last week. I was showing the guys that, so Dead Cells. It's I either own it or it's on the fucking Apple Arcade. Yeah, that's what it was. So I brought out my Xbox controller, my Cyberpunk controller. I'm like, I wonder how it like looks on there and plays, because I tried it with the fingers. Man, it does not. I can't. It's hard to like jump up on a fucking ledge, and I'm like,
Yeah.
either I just suck at these games, but I'm able to like hit enemies, but just trying to jump up, you got to jump twice. And I'm like, all right, they didn't make this easy. But yeah, I brought out the controller, and it's just exactly like playing on Xbox. Shows the whole layout, just like the X and the A button and the Y button. Boom, like it was seamless. So that actually works. Worked extremely well. So
Nice.
I think that's how I was able to make it in so far, because I do play that on the iPad itself. So I probably play it more than I actually say I do. So yeah, it's like the one game I really play on arcade. So, but that's all, Jesus. That's all for me.
Well, right before we get to the news, one other game that I did try out today actually was actually on Game Pass as well. Game Pass, I'm trying to get my monies out of it. I mean, I pay for it every month and never use it. Literally.
Mayo
But you should.
Done with it. He's a PlayStation.
There's a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah. I played Atomic Heart. That's that that shooter game.
Yeah.
It's another game I've downloaded and I haven't.
Good. Not
I played
great.
like the first 5 minutes of.
Well, I'll tell you this. So I like the setting of the game. It's fucking cool, really cool setting, right? You're in like the USSR, but like some floating city in the sky or whatever, kind of like BioShock Infinite or something.
Yeah.
But I don't like the combat in the game.
Yeah.
I enjoy the setting. I enjoy the whole like all the robots went fucking crazy and they're killing everyone. I enjoy that. I like all that. Something about the pacing of the game or something's off about it, and I haven't pinpointed it yet. And I'm thinking it's something to do with the combat. The robots don't seem that cool to me to fight. uh, I don't know, or maybe just if it's not that fun. I have no idea what it is about that game. Maybe video games have evolved from what BioShock used to be back in the day or something, and it's just we're we're at a different space now where I guess video games are more fun in terms of combat. This just didn't do it for me, man. I can't get into the combat. I tried. I was in the plane, I'm like, okay, I like the setting. The character is not too bad. The glove talks, okay, that's kind of weird, but okay, whatever. Uh, and then I don't know. The more I played, I was like, I'm kind of bored. Should I keep playing this? I don't know. Um, but it's a lot like BioShock, man. It's a lot like BioShock, and it has like these weird save points where you go into this room and then you save, and then you continue, and then if you die, you go back to that room and it's where you start off. It's really weird. I don't know. Have you guys tried this game? I guess Ryan hasn't, but have you tried it, Gunny? Oh, Gunny just walked away. Fuck. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, Ryan.
I played like the first like maybe 45 minutes of it. I got through
Yeah.
basically the tutorial and I was like, all right. I never went back to it.
Yeah, I like the setting though. It looks like you could tell it could be like a really cool universe, right? To be in.
Yeah, yeah, no, it does, and it's very pretty. Like,
Yeah,
it looks really good.
it does. Yeah, there was nothing wrong with the graphics at all. Like I'm like, it looks really good. It's a really good looking game. I like the world. I like what they've done with it. I don't know if it's a game for me, man. It's
That's kind of where I was at too, man. It was just like, eh.
the
And then
lock picking.
I had Hogwarts and I had
Yeah,
Grounded. I was playing, and a couple other things, and I was like, that was one of the things that just fell off.
those are definitely probably better options to play than this.
Yeah.
There's something about this game that I don't want to. I don't know. I just don't want to play it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should just lower the difficulty to the easiest, and then
Maybe.
just run through it, and
Go through it. Yeah.
kill everything like a god, and see the story. Because I think the
Yeah.
story might be cool. I don't know. I like the world. I like the robots going crazy. I just don't like fighting the fucking robots. They're kind of lame to fight. They got the one that shoots the laser out of his fucking head. You got the ones that jump around, they fucking drop kick you, and you gotta dodge them or whatever, and then
Just jump down to easy and blast through it, man. If you really want to see the story, like why struggle with a game when all you want is to get through it?
Yeah, and I don't even get the looting system. I mean, I like how you can loot everything like just by holding the button and looking around, right? That's kind of cool, but I don't even know what the point of it is. I'm like, why am I looting all this shit?
Yeah.
Every fucking room that I walk into has like 50 boxes I can open. Why? Why do they make it this? Like, what the fuck's the point of that? I don't get it.
Yeah.
And the upgrades are kind of weird. The machine is funny as fuck, but the upgrades are just weird. Like,
It's the machine that wants to like pretty much fuck you.
yeah, I was fucking laughing when that part happened. I was like, that's pretty fucking funny. I was like, that's kind of cool. But yeah, it's a weird game, man. I don't know if Atomic Heart is for me, but I'll try it. I'm since he beat it like in 15 hours or 12 hours or something. Yeah, I'm just gonna run through it probably just to play it, just to see what it's like. People on Steam really give it good reviews. People really like it, but it's not for me. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, let's talk about video game news, guys. I have some news for you this week, gentlemen.
You do.
As Gunny said, Battlefield 2042 is, in fact, free to play. On Steam, Battlefield is free to play from March 13th to the 16th. The free period coincides with the final days of a massive sale for the game, which is currently listed at $17.99 on Steam. That's a 70% discount for anyone that didn't know. The game is a full price still. But $17.99 is a pretty good deal, I think. But yeah, 3-day trial thing. You can play it as much as you want, then buy it. You should probably, I don't know if buy it or get Game Pass. I don't fucking know. I don't care what you do. Live your life. In other news, The Last of Us season finale reached 8.2 million viewers to set a new record for HBO. That's right. In its first night across HBO Max and traditional TV in the United States, 8.2 million people watched, or 8.2 million, I guess, TVs and shit watched the episode. HBO also confirmed that episode 1 from January is now closing in on 40 million viewers in the United States alone, while episodes 1 through 6 are averaging 30.4 million viewers in total. Outside the United States, The Last of Us has become HBO Max's most watched TV show in Europe and Latin America. Viewership for The Last of Us for its premiere grew with every episode. Episode 5 is something of an anomaly, though, as it premiered on HBO Max 2 days early to avoid a clash with the Super Bowl. With Friday, Sunday numbers accounted for, Episode 5 reached 11.6 million viewers for its premiere. And it says here The Last of Us will return for a second season, but HBO has yet to announce anything specific about it. It is expected to follow the events of The Last of Us Part 2, though showrunner Craig Mazin and writer Neil Druckmann have said Season 2 will not cover the entire game's story, suggesting that they will have a Season 3. I mean, as I said, it just makes sense, right? You make the first season about Ellie going after the fucking Fireflies and Abby and all her friends, and then you make the second season about them coming after her. Oh, wow. Oh. Duh. HBO wants money. Of course they're going to try to extend that shit out as much as they can.
Yeah.
In other news, we want to hear more news. Starfield exclusivity is why Sony does not trust Microsoft's promises. While Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard only needs approval from regulators and not Sony, the Xbox company has done everything it can to appease its rival, at least in public eye. Despite pledges to keep Call of Duty and other Activision titles on PlayStation, and even allow Call of Duty on PlayStation Plus, Sony has unrelentingly refused to bite on any of the offers. As it turns out, a major reason for this is that Sony simply does not trust Microsoft to uphold any of its promises. They cite the acquisition of Bethesda and its parent company ZeniMax Media as proof that Xbox and Microsoft have gone back on their word before. The outcome of the Bethesda acquisition is something we made a point to reiterate ourselves. It says here, before the Bethesda deal was finalized, Microsoft commented on how it wasn't so much interested in making any of the Bethesda games exclusive to the Xbox, but more so first or best. Xbox's boss Phil Spencer at the time said that a multi-format release would be handled on a case-by-case basis, suggesting that some but not all Bethesda games would continue to launch on other platforms. Yet, once everything was set in stone, Gunny, Phil Spencer turned around and admitted that the deal was, quote, about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists. Both Redfall and Starfield have only been given to Xbox and have only seen Xbox launch dates, and so far it is presumed the same is going to apply to The Elder Scrolls 6. Both Redfall and Starfield have since been given Xbox launch dates. Bethesda's own Todd Howard said before the merger that it was hard to imagine The Elder Scrolls 6 meeting the same fate. Just a year later, once the merger had been completed, Phil Spencer, who's his boss, when discussing Starfield exclusivity, said that he sees the same fate for The Elder Scrolls 6. Sony has obviously noticed this too, and in a statement to the Competition and Markets Authority about the Activision buyout, explicitly references this as proof of Microsoft's willingness to not respect any of their public promises.
Oh, really? Any of their public promises, right? Okay. Here we go. How many Microsoft games? I want to ask you a real important question here. How many Microsoft games, Microsoft published games, can you play on the Sony platform? There's quite a few.
Minecraft.
How many Sony?
How many? Yeah.
No, there's a few. But anyways, how many Sony games can you play on an Xbox platform?
One. Yeah, MLB.
And that's only because they were forced to do so. So these articles that are claiming that Sony is like, oh, they're so hard done by. Poor Sony is going to lose everything. Oh, no. It's a bad fate for Sony. Oh, why does anybody give a fuck what Sony thinks? Like, seriously, it doesn't fucking matter.
Well, obviously,
they have done all of this shit. They have all done all this shit throughout the years. No, things are turning in the opposite direction right now, Gunny. And like Sony is looking very, very, very bad right now because of all the shit that they're trying to pull. I mean, if anyone has a fucking good eye on this, they would know that Sony is just being a bunch of pussies. Like, they're just like, oh, we can't lose our number one spot. Oh, you can't let them do this. Oh, crying Jim Ryan's going to run to Brussels.
Yeah,
Like,
he has been salty.
Just shut up and fucking compete. Just shut the fuck up, Sony, and do something about it. Don't cry to the fucking regulators because you're scared. Fucking stand up and fucking do something about it. You're gonna lose Call of Duty? Then make a fucking Call of Duty game yourself and shut the fuck up. Compete or get the fuck out. That's all I gotta say to Sony.
Oh, I'm
Damn.
down, Ryan.
Yeah, well said. Because I know that.
Why are you so mean, man?
No, I
don't want Sony to go away. Like I've said in the past a million times, I want Sony to flourish. I love the games that their studios make. I just hate Sony's whole fucking outlook, especially when they get in the position they're in now. And they did it before, they did it during PS2, and it fucked them over. And they're doing it again, where it's just they don't care. They're on top, so they don't care what they do. They don't care what they say. They don't care how the public perceives them. And eventually, it's going to bite them in the ass. It's just there's so many fucking Sony ponies sucking the fucking pony dick for so goddamn long that they're stuck there sucking that dick, and they can't get away from it. You know what I mean? Like Sony's lucky that they have a lot of stupid sheep following them. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I know that Jim's just like he's like, hey, we've been offered that 10-year deal with Call of Duty, and we don't want no
We don't want a deal. We just want to block the merger.
We just don't want Microsoft to buy it, but he never explains why.
He said that to the CEO, one of the CEOs at Activision.
Yeah.
He said, we don't want another deal. We want to block the merger. That's all we want. It's a selfish act. And it's only to hold their position. And even with Microsoft saying, we don't like what good does it do Microsoft to take it off of the Sony platform? Right. The largest platform out there right now.
Yeah.
Why would they bother? Same with Minecraft. It's the same sort of deal with Minecraft, right? Like, why would they take Minecraft off of PlayStation? They make fucking bucket loads of fucking money off of it. What's the point of taking it away from them? You know what I mean? That's the same situation. But you look at like an Elder Scrolls, that's the kind of thing that is more niche. It's still big, but it's definitely more niche and could push to a platform, right? So that's something that they could push to their platform. And then Sony cries about that. Well, guess what, Sony? What do? What do you do? God of War? You do your fucking, your exclusive games, your Last of Us, your this, that, the other, whatever, right? You got your games. They are for to push to your platform. Well, fucking Microsoft has a different set of games pushing to their platform. And the biggest difference between Xbox and PlayStation is PlayStation makes one really good game like 3 or 4 times. It's the same fucking game. It's just done really well with a really good story and whatever, but it's the same third-person action game every fucking time for every single game. Spider-Man, God of War, Last of Us, fucking Uncharted. It's the sad dad fucking story over and over again. And on Xbox, you have, RTS games, you got racing games, you got fucking flight simulator games, you've got your action RPG games, you've got your fucking third person Gears of War games, you got your first person shooters, you got your multiplayer games. There is more diversity on Xbox than there is on PlayStation when you're talking first party. That is the biggest difference. And that's part of the reason why I don't understand why everybody is so attached to fucking Sony. Like, they have great games. I'm not trying to say that their games are shit, because I'm not saying that at all. They're not. They're great games. I wish I could play them on Xbox, but I can't. So,
Hey, but Ryan,
when that wall understand. Finally falls down and fucking you can get PlayStation Plus on Xbox and Game Pass on PlayStation, then gaming will be a fucking great place again.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Ryan, you got to remember Sony's position here, playing devil's advocate in a funny, humorous way here, of course.
Oh, God.
Is that they've had that Call of Duty exclusivity for what now? 8 years?
Yeah, and Microsoft had the same.
Had it for 8 years.
But wait, Microsoft had the same exclusivity for like 10 years before that.
They did. So now it's going to go. All right. So now, but they don't want to lose it. Just exactly what you said. I'm just echoing your point. They don't want to lose that first person.
And Microsoft already said, "Hey, we will honor the contract that you have until it's over." Like, that's all they have to do if they own the company. They don't have to do that. They're saying, "Hey, we'll do that. We'll honor it." Just like when fucking they bought Bethesda and said, "There's 2 exclusive games coming to your platform." We'll honor that. We'll let that happen. It's okay. We'll do that for you.
Yeah,
but Microsoft's the bad guy. Microsoft's the one that you got to be afraid of. They're the ones that are going to turn around on their contracts.
They're liars.
Right?
They're a bunch of liars.
Oh,
They're a bunch of fucking promise breakers.
But the thing is they never said that Bethesda stuff wouldn't be exclusive. They said their legacy stuff would be cross-platform, would continue to be cross-platform, and they would continue to support all platforms. But everything going forward from that is full game for them. They can do whatever the hell they want. They own it.
I'm always going to use that analogy, right? Which is, and I agree with you, and I use that analogy all the time where, hey, look, if I buy that car or whatever, right, the car goes and stays in my driveway so I can drive it, right, because it belongs to me. And if I choose to give you the keys, and if you want to borrow it, right, if you want to borrow it for 2 years or whatever, we can share it, right? But yeah, definitely very unprofessional by Jim Ryan to just all these statements that he always makes.
Think of it like this, right? Jesus, you own a neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Oh, wait a minute. I got to get this in. I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, and I move into your neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm renting a house in your neighborhood.
Okay.
Right? So that's my house. I'm living there now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So now you no, wait. I fucked this analogy up, I think.
Use the car analogy, man.
Anyways,
got the brake lines. Watch
then I just
now that I live in that neighborhood, I think that all the other houses I should be able to get into because, I live in that neighborhood, so why shouldn't I be able to get into all those houses?
No, that's not how it works.
But you own all those houses, right? Yeah. But I should still be able to get into those houses, shouldn't I? No, you shouldn't, right?
Because you pay for
I shouldn't be able to because I have the one, right? Like I have my own stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I can't come into your houses? Why not? Why can't I come into your houses and take stuff out of them?
Because this is not communist Jesus' neighborhood. No.
Oh. Okay.
So, Ryan, let me ask you the important question.
That's just my point right there,
Ryan, let me address the elephant in the room here, which is is Mr. Ryan and Sony as a company, are they really just fucking freaked out over 5 years from now? Let's just say 5 years from now, right? Could be 10. Where it's like Microsoft wants to go a different direction with Call of Duty, and they're like, "What the fuck?" I think that's definitely where they see that's their money.
But the thing is,
right? That's where
if that's the case, they got their 10 years. They got their 10 years. You got 10 years to take Bungie or whatever fucking game you want. Say you bring back Killzone. Say you come up with your own fucking shooter. You come up with your own version of Call of Duty. That's what you need to do. If you feel like that's the fucking future of your gaming, then you need to build that for your own so that you're making the money on it, not somebody else.
Maybe they can go buy Apex Legends
if you don't,
from
maybe
EA
you should have put a
whatever.
fucking a call out to Activision when they wanted to be sold and put a bid in, but you would have got outbid by Microsoft anyway, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, just because you can't do what they can doesn't mean that gives you the right to say, well, you can't do that because I can't do it. Guys, it's not fair. It's not fair. It
It
really
says
isn't
here
fair.
that while not in violation of behavioral commitment, Microsoft's conduct in relation to the ZeniMax acquisition provides additional evidence of why behavioral commitment should be approached with caution, they say.
Yeah.
They also say that it goes on to highlight how Microsoft told the European Commission ahead of the acquisition's approval that it would not have the incentive to seize or limit making ZeniMax games available for purchase on rival consoles, and told investors, we highly encourage cross-platform play because if it's good for the gaming ecosystem, it's good for us. We don't have any intentions of just pulling all of Bethesda content out of their competitors' platforms. This is likely why Microsoft has been so eager to stress that its 10-year deal to put Call of Duty on Nintendo Switch or Nintendo's platforms is legally binding. Should Sony agree to the same offer, then Microsoft literally cannot back out without inviting a lawsuit. But Sony
Which also hang on, Jesus, wait. I got another question for you. If Sony says that they can't survive without Call of Duty, how the fuck has Nintendo done it for the last 10 years?
Nintendo has exclusives.
So does Sony.
They have Mario.
So Sony's got Kratos. What's your point?
Is not Mario.
He's Sony's Mario.
He's not Sony's Mario.
Sure he is.
No, he's not.
Is.
Who is then?
Way more people.
Is Ellie?
Who is then? Ellie?
Way
Joel?
more people know Mario than people know Kratos.
Yeah, I'll give you that, but that is their so-called mascot, I would say. You know what I mean? That's
Crash is their mascot.
No, he's not. Not for long. Not for long, he's not.
Who else is their mascot? I guess Crash was their mascot back in the day.
Yeah. Sackboy.
Oh, there you go.
Nobody
Sackboy's
knows.
been out since...
Nobody knows Sackboy.
Astrobot,
Sackboy,
maybe,
but a lot of people don't.
Astrobot, maybe, but if they made more fucking Astrobot games.
Yeah.
They're dummies. They fucking focus on dumb shit like Sackboy when they should be making Astrobot games.
Yeah.
Sackboy's good.
Well, they also focus on putting out a really expensive VR headset at a time when people can't afford to buy really expensive VR headsets.
That was a soft launch, wasn't it? I wonder how many they sold.
Sony also cites how Microsoft broke promises it made to the European Commission regarding its Windows operating system and issues such as imposing its choice of default browser. In fact, these weren't even promises. These were actually orders by the European Commission. And that resulted in Microsoft being fined a total of 484 million euros.
Where's that money go?
484 pounds, actually, not euros.
Who gets that money when they find these companies?
The European Commission, bro.
Fucking bunch of crooks.
It says here that the European, despite being a big amount of money, like 484 million pounds is a lot of money, but they said despite being that much money, that's actually a very small amount of money compared to how much the European Commission could have fined Microsoft. They could have fined Microsoft up to 10% of their company's revenue
Damn.
which apparently last year was a total of 74.26 billion. So that would have amounted to about $7.4 billion in a fine.
Right.
Damn.
So think about what you just said there, Jesus.
Yeah.
They made the Activision fucking Call of Duty acquisition money in 1 year. The money that they spent, that they're trying to spend on buying them, they made that money in 1 year.
Yeah.
So when people turn around and say like, "Oh, how can Game Pass be sustainable? How can they do it? How they can't keep it going forever? They're going to raise the price." They won't. You know why? Because they're going to build it and build it and build it and build it and take a loss at first. And then when it's fucking humongous, they'll be making so much money, it won't be funny.
Hmm.
You know, like
I guess.
that's the pull. That's the pull right there, man. And it's already starting to happen. Like they make that money easy in 1 year, you know? Like I'm not saying
Anyways.
they've made their money back already. It's just they can make that much money in 1 year.
In other news, some PlayStation news here for y'all. Although it feels like the PS5 has only just launched, Gunny, Sony is already making plans for its unnamed next-gen console, probably the PS6, knowing how great they name their shit.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
A document that Sony submitted to the UK Competition and Markets Authority in opposition to the pending Activision Microsoft deal references their next system. On page 8 of the 22-page document, Sony lawyers state that Microsoft, quote, has offered to continue making Activision's games available on PlayStation only until 2027. Later on, the document reads, by the time SIE, which is Sony Interactive Entertainment, launched the next generation of its PlayStation console, which is likely to occur around a redacted date, it would have lost access to Call of Duty and other Activision titles, making it extremely vulnerable to consumer switching and subsequent degradation in its competitiveness. So,
guys, we're gonna die.
2027.
We're gonna die without Call of Duty. We
might.
can't do it, guys. We
They
can't.
It's a big game. It's
Don't
the
cry,
biggest
Jimmy.
game.
It is a big game. It is a big game. It really
Yeah.
is. But do you think 10 years down the line it'll still be the big game? You think so?
Yes.
I don't know.
Guarantee you.
I don't know.
Guarantee you it'll be. I guarantee you Call of
Most
Duty's never
likely.
going to die.
I guarantee you it'll still be around, but I
No.
don't know if it'll still be the number one.
Call of
in
Duty
10
will never
years.
die.
I don't think it will die. I never said it would
never,
die.
ever die. It will,
There'll be another Call
it
of
will
Duty
drop
out there that'll be as
off.
good, though.
it will never lose the number one spot.
Something else will come along, brother. Something else will
What's going to come
along.
along?
I don't know. If fucking trust me, if I knew what
It
it was,
ain't-
I'd be fucking working on it right now.
It ain't going to be no fucking. Let me tell you something. Even like a game like, say, like what's that big game on PC? Star Citizen, right? That wonder like.
Not
They got all these
big,
fucking
but
voice
No,
actors.
that's not
and
big enough.
It's
That's
never
not,
gonna do
not
it.
yet. Or,
Any
that's never
RPG,
gonna release. Never mind, fucking beat Call of Duty.
any RPG Microsoft ever makes will never do it. Any like MMO style fucking game will never do it.
There's not going to be. There'll be another
Mm,
WoW. There'll be
Don't
another
know about that,
World of
Jesus.
Warcraft.
I don't know about
I don't
that.
think WoW could take down Call of Duty, even if they made a new WoW, like a brand new one.
You don't think so? Even a new
know.
one?
I don't think so.
See, the only difference there is they're completely different genres, so you're pulling
That'd
from
be-
different
So
niches.
Yeah,
what if they made
Where-
an MMO
on
that
the
was
chart.
a shooter MMO, like a shooting MMO, like
They've
Destiny,
They already
like,
tried
like,
to.
like Destiny, right?
What is it? Counter Strike 2's coming out, or whatever the fuck are they calling
Maybe
it?
Yeah,
maybe Counter
I
Strike.
mean, that's the
could-
niche,
Counter
though.
Strike.
Right? That's for
Don't
PC
fucking
only.
sleep on Counter Strike, man. That's like
Yeah,
one of the
I could
biggest
say
games in the
maybe.
world, man.
It
you
is
know?
the biggest game on Steam.
Yeah. You know,
Why
I
have they
don't
not
know.
brought that over to console? As far as I'm sure maybe the new one will be.
they did.
They
They
did.
just didn't do anything on console.
Counter Strike Go was on consoles.
Yeah,
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
Counter
came out
Strike-
on the 360, didn't it?
Didn't they say Counter Strike Go 2 is gonna come out, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to be. They either
Yeah,
released
that'll
it
be
or
huge.
releasing it soon or something. I can't remember. I don't really
Another
play
news.
Counter-Strike, so.
Move on to some more news. Hmm.
No more news about crying Sony, please.
Speaking of crying Sony,
Oh God.
Activision Blizzard executive Rod Ferguson has now confirmed that Diablo 4
Yeah.
will not launch on the Xbox or PC Game Pass.
What?
And encourages the players to try
No.
out early access beta this upcoming weekend.
Yeah. That'll change if the deal goes through.
They say, we want you to guys know that we've been getting some questions about Diablo 4 on Game Pass, and I want to let y'all know that we have no plans for that. See you in Sanctuary during the beta early access weekend starting on March 17th.
I think the only reason he's saying that is because they can't have a deal. Like they can't make a deal with Activision during the acquisition. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so they can't have it if as long as the acquisition hasn't gone through by the time Diablo comes out, then it's not going to come out. But I guarantee you, if for some reason it goes through before June, I almost guarantee that goes on to Game Pass with no questions asked. But I don't think that deal's going to go through until at least the end of the year, you know, if not into next year. I think it's going to be a while. The kid's going to get dragged out because Sony is just fucking crying and crying and crying.
Yeah. In other news, one or more news. Aces of Thunder is coming for the PSVR 2. Gaijin Entertainment recently announced Aces of Thunder, a spin-off of the popular War Thunder military online action game for the PSVR 2. Contrary to its inspiration, however, Aces of Thunder will not be a free-to-play title. Instead, all the aircraft are going to be a part of the game, or its future add-ons will be available immediately upon purchase, and all the players will be able to apply cosmetic items to customize their planes. Aces of Thunder Gunny will be focused on legendary planes of World War II. These include the American fighter P-51 Mustang and the British Spitfire at first. Gaijin Entertainment promises that the future add-ons will also bring in combat aircraft from other eras. In Aces of Thunder's battles will always take place exclusively from the cockpit view as you are playing in VR. Players will have complete control over all flight systems. As a result, you'll quickly learn how to fly the aircrafts almost for real with your own hands, Gunny. All the game modes will offer competitive online battles with other virtual pilots in different formats. These will include team versus team battles and single duel dogfights with custom settings and more. Aces of Thunder, according to Gaijin Entertainment, will also, like they said, will not be free, so be ready to pay a full premium price for it probably.
Be ready to pay a full premium price for all those VR games. Because, like, here's the thing, right? I'm kind of worried about PSVR 2, to be honest. Like, I think this is probably the last time you're going to see Sony take a whack at this because they've picked like a terrible time to release it. And
I think they just had to, right? I mean, you can't just sit on this shit, right? Like, if you've been working on it.
People are not, people are struggling right now,
Yeah, I mean, with inflation and everything.
And now you've already raised the price of your consoles in other areas. Like I went to Walmart today to do some shopping, and there was a PS5 sitting in the drawer, $730. It's like $730 plus tax. So you're looking at over like $820 probably for a fucking PS5. And then the headset is almost $1,000. It's like $950 taxes in. Like it's fucking how do you expect anyone to fucking buy a PS5 and a PSVR? You know what I mean? Like it's a lot. A bad move. And then that's gonna equal less people owning it, which means these developers that are making these games are going to make less money because they have a very small pool of people that are going to be able to buy their games in the first place, which is why you're starting to hear a lot of talk about, a lot of PSVR games are going to be dual. It's going to be like you can play it flat or you can play it in VR. You know what I mean? And that's going to kind of be the only way that these companies are going to be able to sell their games and make enough money, or they'll just stop making PSVR games, right? And if there's no one to make PSVR games, then what's the point in having the headset in the first place? And then Sony loses a shitload of money, and guess what? They don't make PSVR anymore. Just like PS Vita, just like PSP. You know what I mean? Like, they don't make it anymore because you know what? It was a good product and it did okay, but it didn't do good enough. You know?
Yeah.
So
I think that what's his
PS
face?
Vita,
Greg?
PS Vita needs to come back.
Well, PS Vita, the problem is that it got fucking hacked, so no one would buy games for it because everyone would just fucking mod their fucking Vita and get all the games for free, right? That was the problem with Vita.
That was the problem with the PSP.
PSP as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, what's his face over Greg over at PS I Love You and
Kind of funny.
Kind of funny. So I know that he put out a tweet and he's a huge Sony fan.
Yeah.
But he was pretty salty that the fact that a lot of these games that did come out for the PSVR 2 were not exclusive.
No, they were all like games that you could already play on Oculus and stuff, like Beat Saber and fucking what was that, the fucking Star Wars one,
Vader or something or other.
Yeah, Vader Immortal or whatever. Yeah.
But
stuff like that, right?
But I think I'm still. I think what happened was, again, I could be totally wrong, and I've said it before, where I think they got so far along in development and just spent so much money just trying to develop this thing that they said, well, we've kind of reached the point of no return. We have to keep going, right? We can't just scrap this, you know?
And the worst part about it all is from what I'm hearing, I haven't tried it, so I don't know myself. I don't know from experience. I've never tried it. But from everything that I'm hearing, it's a fucking really good headset for what you're paying. Like, you're getting your money's worth out of it. But the thing is just the majority of people right now don't have that kind of money to just fucking shell out.
Anywhere in the world, for sure. Yeah, it's America exports inflation, so it doesn't just affect us.
Maybe 2 years from now, it becomes a fucking huge hit, and we come out of the recession, and everyone starts buying PSVR headsets. I don't know.
Yeah, and they come out, they're just like, "Hey, look, we've announced all these games, and you know, and they're getting really good reviews, and these are must plays." And yeah, I think they'll just start selling off, not off the shelf, but I think they'll definitely make their.
I just feel like it's
the case.
I just feel like it's the wrong time for them to release that. You know, especially with now. Okay, think about it this way, right? PSVR 1. They sold what, like
4 million?
It was like 4 or 5 million PSVR headsets. They had over 130,000 fucking consoles sold. And you only sold like 2% of your fucking console owners are the only ones that bought.
Yeah.
That, you know, that's not a lot. That's everyone says that PSVR was so successful, but it wasn't really, if you think about it. They didn't sell enough. They didn't have a big enough fucking pool for developers to want to develop really fucking crazy cool games for PSVR because there wasn't an audience for it. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't worth it. You're not going to make your money. So, you know, that's where the failure comes from. It's not that they made a shitty headset. Well, the first one wasn't great. Let's all admit it, right? Like, the headset was good, but I mean, the wands were shit and all that. And they seem to have done a better job this time, right? They got the cool controllers and fucking the head tracking and the eye tracking and all that shit all in the thing. And, you know, got it down to one cable, which is good. You know, I think like wireless is still too much of an issue, you know, for them to actually be able to get what they want out of it, right? And
but this is
to keep
Sony.
the price down, I think that's really what keeps the price down too, right? Is not having
I think they've got a plan this summer. You know,
and it's lighter and more comfortable because there isn't a huge battery in it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I think they've got a good plan in place for this. Hopefully this spring, you know, they'll announce some new games and all that shit.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter if they announce new games if people can't afford to buy the headset, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Or their consoles. Like, sure, in North America, their consoles are still the regular price, but it's not like that everywhere else. You got to remember that. I think you guys tend to forget that a lot, right? It's like you got to remember everywhere else in the world got at least a $50, at minimum a $50 fucking price hike. Everywhere else in the world.
Oh yeah, yeah. Right. Even Oculus went up $100. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyways, you got any more news there, Jesus?
Yes. Speaking of more news, PlayStation 5 in Japan has marked its biggest month ever in Japan. Last month on February, they said their sales went up 450%. It was the best-selling hardware in the country for PS5. Was the best-selling hardware in the country. They sold 366,982 units. Nintendo Switch came in second at 221,000. Xbox did not release their numbers. You probably know why. It's Japan. They love PlayStation and Nintendo over there.
But Xbox Series S is doing really good in Japan.
Is it?
Apparently, yeah.
Because it's small?
Yeah,
Japanese
that's what I
ones.
think. It's a small, like, that's what Japanese people like. You know, they like
What are you
smaller
trying to
things
say?
because they live in small spaces. Well, have you ever been to fucking Japan, brother?
No.
You try and fit in a fucking Japanese apartment. I dare you.
I
You
want
try
to
and fit
drive.
your ass in a fucking
I want
Japanese
to drive a
apartment.
big truck in Japan.
So
I want to
Go
drive.
forward F-350
I
with the
want
big
to
old
buy.
smokestacks.
Yeah, I want to drive my big Ford F-350 in them streets. Mm-hmm.
Perhaps playing some Alan Jackson through there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want my big dually wheels.
So that's why I think the Series S does well there. It's just because it's small. You know, it fits in little places. It really does. I was amazed
Look,
when I finally saw one.
The PS5 isn't small.
Right?
That thing's
Yeah, I
probably the
know.
size of a Japanese apartment.
It is.
Yeah.
They have to put the thing outside the window, like they mount it on the sidewall
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah. Next to the router.
Run the cables through the window
That shit's huge. How does
to their 15-inch TV.
Oh,
I have to put it in the
man.
fridge when it's raining. No. Don't get wet.
Listen, Gunny. Nintendo says, all right, Doug Bowser said that he expects the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom to justify its $70 price tag. He says,
Okay.
we look at what the game has to offer. I think fans will find this is an incredibly full, deeply immersive experience. The price point reflects the type of experience that fans can expect when it comes to playing this particular game.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. He said, quote, this isn't the price point that we'll necessarily have on all of our titles. It's actually a fairly common pricing model either here or in Europe or other parts of the world where pricing may vary depending on the game itself. So there's that. It cost $70 everywhere in the world, including the United States. And it also, there's a standard version. That's how much it is. But if you want to go full on hardcore, there is a Tears of the Kingdom Collector's Edition that costs $129.99. It will include the physical version of the game, an art book, a steelbook case, and icon art steel poster, and a set of 4, not 3, Gunny, not 2, not 1, but 4 pin badges.
Ooh, I like pin badges.
4 of them.
It's going on my jacket. Going to work.
It's totally
I mean,
worth
this doesn't shock me at all. Like, everything else has gone up. Even Microsoft had to do it. They fought against it for the longest, and you know, so it was coming. You know,
it was coming. Nintendo had to do it.
Yep.
Another piece of news: Dead Island 2. This article says that these guys got a hold of playing the game early. They got some like an early access play thing or whatever. They say there's no difficulty options in the game like the first game. The zombies will scale based on the area you enter, with higher level zombies scattered in specific parts. That there's a lot of breakable things in the environment. A lot of small stuff, but one thing that they did notice was windows. When you break a window, Gunny, the glass that shatters from the window can and will damage you.
Ooh, like Project Zomboid.
Yeah. So there's splash damage from the glass hitting you, and it also like attracts zombies and shit. Like if you make a lot of noise by breaking things, zombies will start coming and checking in the area.
Revolutionary.
Says here the game is structured to take you through certain parts of Los Angeles. So they're in that part of city world. It's a made up city based in LA, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, it says here that you do not have to play the first game to understand this game. The story is set in its own world, its own thing. So like there's callbacks to the first story, of course, but you don't have to go and play the first game to understand what the hell's going on in this game.
Yeah.
And
There'll be things that you'll be like, oh, haha, that's from the first game. You know what I mean? But it won't be like anything.
Overall, they say that the game is pretty impressive and it's actually a lot of fun. It is set to release now on April 21st of this year.
Cool.
Great. I think I'll be on vacation.
Nice. There you go, Gunny. Good vacation.
Yeah.
For you.
Yes, I will be starting my vacation. Is it next week? I think it is.
Mm.
Yeah, I should play that on my vacation for sure.
That's March.
Yeah, that's March.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of gameplay today.
April 23rd, Gunny. April 23rd. Not March 23rd. April 23rd.
Damn. Fuck. I was thinking it was next week because I saw the final preview
21st.
today.
21st.
Damn it.
21st. There you go.
In other news, Google Stadia has now completely shut down their entire cloud streaming service. All of it. It's dead.
Bye.
It's offline now.
Another notch in the coffin.
Who's talking fucking Stadia Master Race now?
Oh, man. Says here, well, it's done. Says here that they announced the closures last year, but this year now it's done. 2 days ago, they shut it down.
Yep.
They apparently tried to sell the tech to third parties such as AT&T and Peloton, but apparently no one took it.
It's that bad, huh?
Yeah. Apparently AT&T did use it to have apparently people can play Arkham Knight on their like on your cell phone via streaming through AT&T. I guess they tried it or something, and
yeah, but then AT&T probably realized, well, we got to license all these games to fucking put in here, so it's not worth it.
Fuck this shit.
The problem with Stadia, right, was the monetization of it. It was the fucking you got to buy these games again. It's like that's why Microsoft kind of has a stranglehold on it, is because they already have people that own all those games on their fucking platform already. So Microsoft can say, hey, you can play your games that you own through our fucking service on this service. So
yeah,
it was a big miss, swing and a miss
third
for
party.
Google.
Yep. Or even first party exclusive.
Yeah. Other than that, boys, I don't have any more news. I believe that's all the news we have this week.
Well then.
PSVR 2 is out. All that shit's out.
You did forget one piece of news. One very important piece of news that you've forgotten randomly.
What?
I put
Starfield.
Yes.
Now has a release date.
Oh shit! I did not see
September 6th.
September 6th, 2023.
You think it's coming out? Is it coming out this time? Is it really going to come out September?
It has to. It has to, because it was supposed to be out before June, and they delayed it till September. So fucking if it doesn't come out in September, people are gonna fucking be pissed.
I thought it was 11/11/22.
I'm kind of upset. I was really hoping it was going to come in June. I was kind of dead set that it would be June, and like they would kind of do like something this month about like their big thing, which is now supposed to be coming in June. The big direct or whatever they're going to do. So yeah. I guess, we got to wait a little longer for it, but if it makes the game a better polished game, then whatever. I'll play the game when it comes out. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get all fucking pissy about delays. You know, we got to fucking stop doing that. Like, if you're going to get pissed off about a delay, just stop fucking following a game before it comes out. Then you don't know about it until it fucking comes out, and then you'll be happy when it comes out.
Yeah.
Like, just give up fucking shitting on developers just because you're upset that you don't have the game that you want. Like, I don't know. The gamers TM are fucking like just getting ridiculous. It makes me embarrassed to be a gamer sometimes. You know,
yeah,
like,
I'm gonna send them death threats until they send me the code for the game.
Yeah, or I don't like what this guy said. I'm gonna send the SWAT team to his house. Like, fucking, what is fucking wrong with you people?
Yeah,
like,
people are crazy, bro.
Just play a game, man. It's a game. You're supposed to enjoy it. It's the same shit with like all these people that are pissed off about accessibility options. Because oh, your gamer pride. Oh, you gotta beat a hard game and someone else can't have an easier time, or someone with a fucking disability can't enjoy the same goddamn game that you did because it'll ruin your gamer pride. Fucking cry me a river. Piss off with that bullshit. Let as many people play a game as they can. Fucking, if you don't want to set it on easy, then don't fucking set it on easy. That's up to you. That's your choice. That's what you want. Let other people play the game that maybe don't have a hard time with it and can fucking set it down to easy and still enjoy the story that the fucking developers made for people to watch. Like, you know, I don't know. Like I said, sometimes being a gamer makes me really sad.
Wow. Sounds like you're angry.
I am a little bit.
It rants.
Just angry at like how fucking idiotic people can be sometimes about really, really stupid things that really don't matter in the fucking bigger picture of it. You know what I mean? Like,
I see those clowns on Twitter, and or even like some that I follow that might retweet it or show it. I'm like, oh, whatever, you know. Oh my gosh, just go play the game, you know. Go play it. Go play something else until that game comes out. I agree. Stop complaining.
Speaking of all that, as with Bethesda released it on September 6th, they also announced that they were going to have a Starfield Direct event on June 11th.
Yeah, there it is.
The same day that Xbox says that they're going to have their Xbox showcase, their game showcase. They will not be at E3, but they will have a showcase on the 11th.
They'll be right across the street from it, just like they always are.
Yeah.
Also, Nintendo has announced that they will not be at E3 this year. Mm-hmm. Sony is the only one that hasn't announced if they will or will not be there, but most people are going to assume that they will not be there.
I don't think they will. E3 is going to be more... I think they'll probably still do the same thing as Microsoft is and release like a state of play or something around that time. You know what I mean? To be like, hey, video game news is, you know, let's see if we can dominate the news or whatever, right? But it depends on what they have, right? Like maybe, like really, what does Sony have this year? This is last year's year for Xbox is what Sony's kind of going to go through this year. Because they don't have a lot. They got Spider-Man. That's all they got.
What are the big PlayStation games this year?
Spider-Man.
That's it?
No, there's one more, and I can't think of what it was.
PS5 games for 2020.
Was Horizon this year, or was that last year?
Yeah, it was this year. Yeah,
that was this year. That was the other game. So it was Horizon and Horizon, Forspoken, and fucking Spider-Man. Oh, and Last of Us, whatever the multiplayer Last of Us factions.
Oh yeah.
That's all they have announced right now that I can think of. So, I mean, if you really think about it, that's kind of like last year's year from... And then if you think about the year before that, that was the year Microsoft was like publisher of the year. Because they put out a wide variety of games that did really, really, really good. That's another fucking fucked up thing, you know, about how people are all, Sony has better games than Microsoft. They have much better games, guys. Look at their games. They're so much better. You go to the Metacritic, you add up all the first-party games, all the fucking titles, and you get Microsoft has an 86 average, and Sony has an 85 average. So why are Sony's games so much better than fucking Microsoft's? Tell me why. You know?
1 point difference.
They don't sell that much. They might sell more, but they put out less. So they don't make as much money. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just funny to look at the whole situation where it's like, maybe more of this is just built up by the fucking media and it's not as true as you fucking think it is, especially the sales numbers and stuff like that. Sometimes I start to guess about that, second guess about that. Like,
right,
like can Microsoft possibly be making so much money if this is so true? You know what I mean? Like,
oh, it's called Windows, bro.
Everyone no. I just mean Xbox in general. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, you know, you've got your Facebooks and your groups and your Twitters and stuff, and it's good for revenue, especially for these media
Sony
companies.
has the same thing. They got their music division, they have their movies division, they have their electronics division. You know what I mean?
TV.
They bring in a lot of fucking money
shows
outside, but for them personally, I think PlayStation is their number one. I don't think they've backed off on laptops lately. You know what I mean? Like they don't make as many fucking home audio stuff as much as they used to. Their TVs aren't as big as they used to be. You know, a lot of their divisions have kind of slid a little bit, but PlayStation's been going up. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I just find it funny, you know, that people will say that kind of shit and then they don't really look at the numbers. You know what I mean? And if you look back on it, it's a lot closer than you think it is. You know?
Yeah.
But I think Sony has more games out, if I'm not mistaken. Like if you look back,
more studios, right?
No, fuck no. Microsoft owns more studios. Are you kidding me? Microsoft owns what, 24 studios right now, and when they buy Activision, that's like another like 5 or 6 studios or something like that. So it'd be
maybe
like
it was
almost
IPs
in the 30s.
Is what I saw. I think I saw a video about different IPs that they own. I think Sony has more IPs, or did.
Maybe, I don't know.
So. Can't remember the statistic on it.
And then there's that old argument about how all Sony's developers are homegrown. They made them themselves. Fuck you. They fucking bought all those fucking studios.
They were grown naturally and organically.
Any of them. Like, they were not organically grown. It's such a fucking joke, man. All those companies started somewhere else. Sony had to buy them at some point. Naughty Dog. Fucking Naughty Dog used to be with Activision, right? Is that what it was? Back in the day, before when they were making Crash Bandicoot and stuff like that.
Were they? Okay. Yeah.
That was before Sony. Sony owned them.
Bungie used to be with Microsoft, right?
Well, yeah, that's the main one, you know. But I'm talking about older stuff, right? Like a lot of the stuff that they bought a long time ago. People forget they fucking bought that shit. They didn't grow it. Sure, they grew it into what it is today. But who's to say that they wouldn't have grown into that anyways if Sony didn't buy them? You know what I mean? Like, you don't know that. You can't say that, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get off this. What else we got, Jesus?
Speaking of Sony and money.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you won't fucking get away from this.
Find another article, damn it. Ryan's rant is still continuing.
Speaking of Sony and money, Sony has come out recently and talked about how much money they have left for strategic investments this year. And they said they have $5 billion for strategic investments.
What do you think they're going to do with that?
$5 billion? I mean, you could probably get like a pretty cool exclusive game from somebody.
Like what?
I don't fucking know. Just name a random studio making a game. They could acquire it. Like, yeah, we want this game to be our game for our console.
Yeah, but looking at fucking who Sony's worked with recently and You know, what do you think? What do you think they would do? What move do you
Ubisoft.
think they would make?
Ubisoft.
I don't think they could afford Ubisoft. Although,
I don't know.
yeah. What is their net worth? Because it was pretty low the last time.
Let's look at Ubisoft is 2.8 billion.
Yeah, holy fuck, man.
Yeah,
That's the thing, though. Like, do you buy that sinking ship like that?
You could turn it around though. They got a lot of exclusive, crazy good franchises. I think
Do they though? Do they? Do they have any great franchises that haven't been fucking run into the ground already?
You buy them and you turn it around. You got all the Tom Clancy shit. You got Splinter Cell. You got Ghost Recon. You got fucking all that cool shit.
Yeah, but
right?
think about Ghost Recon the last few years. The Division hasn't done really well.
I mean, you can turn around. Okay, you pump out a new Division.
Well.
Yeah, you pump out a new Division, people will buy that. You come out with the new Splinter Cell. You come out with.
But will they buy enough of it? Yeah, people will buy it, but will there be enough? I don't think there is, and that's part of the problem. Is Ubisoft kind of fucking forced their shit down everybody's throats, and now everyone's sick of it. Now everyone's like, I don't want to play this shit anymore because fucking, you know, it's the same thing every time. Every fucking map puke everywhere. Fucking go do this, go climb that tower, fucking go over here, fucking, you know, it's the same shit over and over and over again, recycled and fucking rinse and repeat. And people are starting to wise up to it. And I think that's why you're watching fucking Ubisoft's bottom line fucking fall through the floor. Not to mention all the shit that's gone on at Ubisoft, you know, like.
And what they've been announcing over the last, year and a half about
the
we're
NFTs
not going to make big
and
games anymore. We're going to make them smaller and more. I don't know. Yeah, it's like what are they?
You guys won't let us do what we want to do, so we're gonna fucking make shitty games now because we can't afford it.
That's what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess they could buy them, but I just don't. I don't know if it's worth it for them.
Maybe Assassin's Creed will be worth it for them.
Yeah, I mean. They'd have to do something to turn that around, but I mean, you look at God of War and you kind of think, yeah, they could do something, I guess. I don't know.
I think they could. I think that Sony.
That's the only IP from Ubisoft that's worth its fucking weight in gold is Assassin's Creed.
Don't underestimate Tom Clancy's shit, man. I think
I think even the Division, they can do a lot with that too. Not a lot, but I think they can carry that torch.
What if they bought Ubisoft and put Ubisoft on a new SOCOM game?
There you go. Make it like a Tom Clancy's SOCOM game.
Yeah.
If you can license that SOCOM.
Name, bring in like
bring some gadgets, from like.
And then you could mix up like fucking Siphon Filter with like fucking Splinter Cell fucking kind of game.
Yeah.
That would be interesting too, right?
I mean, also 2K is worth about $3 billion.
Now that's what I've heard that there's talks about is fucking Sony buying 2K.
That'd be huge for them.
That would be fucking massive. But what you said? How much they're worth? How much?
About $3 billion.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
No fucking
3.8 billion.
They own Rockstar, dude. How are they only worth 3.8 billion?
That's it.
How much is Rockstar worth?
Let's look at. How much is Rockstar? Probably $1 billion.
Gotta be more than 1.5 billion.
Dude. At least 1.5 billion.
How much? Okay, Rockstar's. Oh wow, they're pretty big.
Yeah.
Rockstar's game worth is 22.75 billion.
Oh shit! I was way off.
How is 2K?
No, it's not 2K. It's a different.
Take Two.
That's it. I knew it was a different company.
Take Two.
Yeah, it's something with the two though.
Yeah.
You were close. I was about to say, that doesn't make any sense. You're right, but yeah, you're right. It's not 2K. It's Take Two.
I knew it had a 2.
Yeah. So how much is Take Two worth?
Oh, probably more.
They're huge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Take Two is like the
because I heard rumors about Sony talks with Take Two.
I don't know if they could afford them.
I don't either. That's
Probably
what I
50
was
billion.
wondering.
They're worth about 19 billion. It says
Yeah,
here.
there you go. That's a little more like it.
Yeah,
But they're still worth less than Rockstar, and they
they
own
are.
them.
That's true. Yes, that's weird.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Weird.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
But could you imagine if the Activision Blizzard deal goes through and then fucking Microsoft buys Take-Two as well?
Yeah, our next acquisition will be.
Oh my
We're
god!
looking at
Then I
Take-Two.
would say, okay, you're taking things a little too fucking far here, Microsoft.
I mean, they could do that, or I mean, who else would Microsoft? I think is Microsoft done? Do you think, or do you think they're going to go after more people?
I think they go after some small stuff after this,
Yeah.
but I don't think they're going to buy anything big like a
You think they're going to
Ubisoft
go
or a
like
Take-Two.
Ubisoft or Take-Two or
No.
something?
I think they'll buy some like support studios and stuff like that, and like I think they'll buy maybe a couple of indie studios or something. You know what I mean?
What's
Like
the Borderlands
I
franchise?
don't
Who's that?
think they're done. No, that's owned by Embracer now.
Is it okay?
Yeah,
What about
They're
THQ?
pretty big, right?
Who
Embracer's
owns
big.
THQ?
Gearbox.
Yeah.
THQ is Embracer too, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Yeah,
THQ
Yeah,
Nordic.
Embracer's huge.
yeah. Embracer.
Because they bought up a ton of shit.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Europe and
Well,
even
they
here.
Well,
bought-
wasn't that
here
the
in
company
America.
that was going to buy? Were they going to buy Ubisoft at some point? But then Ubisoft
No, that was Vivendi.
Okay. But I mean, Ubisoft is fucked off for the last few years, man. They literally were my favorite fucking publisher. I fucking love those guys. And they turned around and released a bunch of fucking trash. The last great fucking game they had was Rainbow Six Siege. And I get it, all right? They're still riding that fucking unicorn right now. And I get it, all right? You guys have a hit. Cool, bro. But, like, what have you guys done since? You've done The Division. Okay. I get that. Those are cool games.
They only came out with the one good DLC, which was the New York one, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
They should have added more by now.
I mean,
Well, and they came out with Division 2.
Division 2 was
No,
good.
that's what I'm talking about. The only
Oh, okay.
DLC that came out was the New York DLC for Division 2. But what I'm saying is they should have added another one by now. It should have already been out. But I don't know. They just fucked off on it, I guess. But even though I say they still did good with it, but still, they should have added more shit.
What the fuck is on your head, Gunny?
Oh, that's the freaking pillow came off of the chair. All that
Oh.
Sony talk, man, it just came off. It came off the back of it.
But yeah, like, I don't know, man. Ubisoft needs to get their shit together. They got some cool IPs. I don't know if this year's Assassin's Creed is gonna do it, man. What the fuck is it called?
What do you think? Jesus? What do you think Microsoft would do after the Activision deal thing?
I'm
finishes?
thinking. I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of like smaller studios, small things that could come. I don't think they need anything. I think they just at this point they would just need to double down and say, "All right, guys, time to put out some fucking games."
I think
Right.
they go. I think they
bought
go
everything out.
Japanese. Personally, I think they go Sega. I think they go Capcom. I think they go Square. Something like that.
Square wouldn't want to sell.
No, Square.
Man.
Square.
Big.
No, Square wouldn't sell to Microsoft. That's for sure. I mean, that was kind of my point of why I wanted Starfield to come out in June, was almost to fuck Square over.
I think Square's pretty
Because
happy with their
with their fucking little Final Fantasy 16 deal with PlayStation. If
doesn't
Starfield
PlayStation
released on the same day as Final Fantasy 16, what do you think would happen?
Yeah. I mean, doesn't PlayStation have Final Fantasy VII remake bullshit coming out this year too?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The new DLC, but
New DLC.
Yeah.
And that's still not available on Xbox.
That's not disclosed, by the way. That first part of the DLC, as to whether it will come to other platforms, that they're still keeping that hush.
No, none of the game at all is on Xbox.
Right.
That's
But they're not even saying like eventually.
That's
in the
money
future.
hatted by fucking Sony, and
Yeah.
in the contract states that it cannot come to Xbox.
Yeah.
These are things that are really going to start coming out because Microsoft was smart enough to go to the courts and say, "Hey, we just want Sony to divulge their plans in the future so that we know what they have going forward."
Yeah.
If all this is coming out to them, so now Sony is kind of backpedaling because they're like, "Oh, well, we don't want to release our information. You can redact it and whatnot, but Microsoft will still know what's going on. The public may not, but Microsoft will be able to know." So I don't know. It's a fucking wild ride we're on for that whole fucking thing. When that information comes out, if it ever does, I think it was kind of a play from Microsoft to kind of shut Sony up. It's like, oh yeah, well, you have to release this information, and Sony's like, fuck, we don't want to release this information. All right, we'll shut the fuck up and take your deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that coming out in the courts.
And if you really want to know, like, keep up on what is going on with the ABK deal, I would fucking check out Hoag's Law on YouTube. He kind of brings the whole fucking case together. He's like talking about it in videos and stuff like that. And it's really interesting. I like what he's talking about and kind of breaking down for you and making it easier, more digestible to understand for, common people like us.
Commoners, we all commoners. Yes.
Yeah, that's all the news we have. I mean,
Oh,
pretty
thank
much
God.
all that.
All the Sony news we have for today and Xbox.
Doom Mobile
Flinging shit at each
has
other.
1 million pre-orders according to Bethesda.
Doom Mobile?
Yeah, it's called Mighty Doom.
Mighty
What?
Doom?
Never heard
Yeah,
of
I
it.
played it. I have it.
Yeah.
Played it on my phone. It was okay. It's not that great. It's
Mighty
like,
Doom?
Yep. Oh, that's another thing I played on mobile is that fucking Street Fighter stupid game. That game is dumb. It's like Street Fighter, and I thought, okay, cool. It's gonna be like a fighting game on my phone. No, it's like a fucking.
It's a turn-based? Is that what it is?
Pick your fucking character, and then you put them out there, and they just fight. They just fight each other, and it's random what happens. It's like you don't have any say.
Huh?
You don't get to attack. You don't get to do nothing. You just fucking sit there and watch them fight. Like, this is stupid. Who the fuck wants to play this shit? But the Mighty Doom one was, let me just load it up here for a second. It was like a top-down shooter kind of thing, I think. If I remember correctly. Oh, there's a big update, I think. It was okay. It was like an okay kind of, whoa, that's loud. Sorry, guys.
It's very loud.
But yeah, it's just like a little shooter thing, top down. You kind of fucking, I don't know if you can even see it. It's going through some fucking tutorial bullshit.
Okay.
And you use the stick to kind of move around, and it just auto shoots everything. And you,
kind of lame.
yeah, it is kind of lame.
Yeah.
All those mobile games suck. Why do they always think they want to play some little stupid, like... Why do they always think we want to play some twin-stick shooter type shit?
That's always like an ad I get for on the YT vids or the what was it, Raid Shadow of Legends? I think I get like,
oh god,
that one's always being pushed in my face.
Yeah, because they bought a lot of advertising, man. But
there's a
that game is basically fucking you pay money to fucking keep going. So bad. So bad.
I think your mic went off there.
Oh,
Ryan,
something's up with Ryan's mic.
We can still hear you though. So
yeah,
probably through the laptop. There you go.
Is it good now?
Yeah. Is it? Talk.
Hello?
No.
I don't know. Is it different now? It might be.
Let me see something here.
It just sounds different. But there's another one I've been playing a little bit of. It's called Frostborn on mobile. Okay. That one seems to be okay. That's kind of a top down, maybe a little isometric, collecting and fucking sword fighting.
Mm.
build your little house and go and just collect shit and kill enemies. It seems pretty cool. I can just do that with the fingers. Play that one pretty easy.
Yeah.
So
Is that better, guys?
Way better.
that's better. Much
Okay.
better.
Okay.
Yeah. That and some
Um,
jetpack too.
But yeah, that's all we have for news. So let's go on now to the console corner, Gunny. I'm pretty sure it's the same games we've already discussed.
No, we've got new games here for March, especially
Yeah, it's
for
March.
your PlayStation Plus games. You get Battlefield 2042. So
yeah.
there you go. Claim that. Claim it now. Keep it. Keep your
It's on
subscription
Game
going.
Pass too.
Yeah. Oh, here's another one on Game Pass. Minecraft Dungeons, guys, on a PlayStation platform.
Oh,
It's on Game
So-
Pass.
I bet this one's on Game Pass too. You can double check this one. It's called Code Vein.
It used to be on Game Pass. I don't know if it's still there, but it was at one point.
Guys, they're just like getting me the fucking hand-me-downs for the PlayStation over here. You know, we've already played them over here on the Xbox, people.
This is the thing, right? Like, you got to remember that everybody always says how great all the PlayStation Plus games are all fucking so good. They're so good. Look at the games with golds. They're so shit. Oh, it's so garbage. Oh, look at that bullshit. It's because they don't fucking care about games with gold. They want you to play fucking Game Pass. Like,
Yeah,
and how do you not fucking understand that? How do you not realize that? Because you look at those games, PlayStation Plus games, and you start looking at the list of games with Game Pass games, and you're like, oh shit, they're all on there. Other than the exclusives, you know what I mean? Like, obviously.
Ryan. What does Xbox have to offer games with gold this month?
Oh, let me
tell
show
me.
you. Let me tell you, Jesus. Let me tell you. What do they
And
got?
I'll tell you why they're there.
Oh, yeah,
Because
I
they
actually know
don't
the reason,
give a
but-
fuck about games with gold. They want you to have Game Pass.
Right, they want you to pay for that online service. Who cares
Let me
about the
give you
actual
some
game?
shit right here. Some
Matter of
And
fact,
if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you get games with gold anyway. So it's just a fucking bonus. It's just a throw in.
I think they
Really?
can't get rid. They just can't get rid of gold yet because it would just cancel everybody's
How the
online
fuck do you think
subscription.
fucking between Gunny and I, we have like 1,200 games?
Yeah,
Most
man.
of them are from games with gold, I'll tell you. Like games with gold brought a lot of those in. Well, we bought
own
a
all
lot
the
of them too.
360 games. Yeah,
Like between the two of us, I think we have about 400 games each that we actually purchased.
at least.
And then if you look at our full library between the two of us, we have almost 1,200 games.
Yeah, it's like I'm like scrolling down.
700 of those are Game Pass.
No.
No, but
I don't think
close.
it doesn't
I don't
show up
know.
in the own library.
I think it's like
Um,
400 or something.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
for
messing
Xbox
with
Gold,
you.
Jesus, you get Truber Brook. The U has the two lines.
my.
Periods at
Huber
the top,
what?
so it's got to be good.
Huber what?
Brook.
Truber book?
Brook.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
What else you
Yeah,
got?
everyone wants to play Truber Brook.
That's right.
Okay, here's
Because
one
it's
for you.
games with gold, and Microsoft doesn't give a fuck about games with gold because if it's a good game, they'll put it in Game Pass.
Sudden Strike 4, guys. Sudden Strike 4. So wasn't this
Okay.
on the 360? I don't know. I think it's
I
like
think
it's
so,
like
yeah.
it's almost like a ported
Uh,
Xbox One game, is what it is. So it
Yeah.
kind of looks newer, but it's not.
Man.
But you get the complete edition. So if you never played it 10 years ago, you can play it
Battlefield
now.
2042 is better.
It's on Game Pass.
Yeah. And a game you're going to get here in a few days for those of you listening is a game called Lamentum. Lamentum. I don't know what a Lamentum is, but let me see here. Oh, it looks like let's see. It's Neon Doctrine action adventure role playing game. Let's see. You are a young aristocrat on a desperate journey to cure the deadly disease that afflicts his beloved wife. So yeah, pixel art survival horror game in New England. So
Oh, Jesus, Gunny. Yeah. Have either of you played Dome Keeper?
No.
did I play that? I don't remember if I did.
I think it's on Steam. It's not on consoles, so that's why I was asking. But that game looks fun. It's not like super crazy, like gonna blow you away, but it looks like a fun time. Like it would be good. It's basically kind of like SteamWorld Dig, because you're digging down to get materials and stuff like that. But you have this dome at the top that you have to get back up to because fucking waves come in and attack, and you have to defend your dome from the waves that come in. And then you go down and you dig more and you collect resources and you bring them up and you upgrade your dome. And then the next wave comes in and you got to fucking fight them off and then go back and collect resources and
What's it on?
rinse and repeat.
Steam?
I think
Okay,
it's on
yeah.
Steam.
Yeah, I put that
Yeah.
on my wish list.
But yeah, but it's not
Huh.
like it's like a 16-bit, 32-bit kind of looking game. It's not like
Okay.
I almost for a
anything
minute,
crazy,
Ryan, I
but
was like,
it's
hey, wait, I don't think you're not into the fucking tower defense games. What are you doing? But it doesn't look too kind of tower defensey, but
well, it's you have up at the top. You're defending your dome, so that would be your tower. It's not like and the waves come in from either side. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like
more to it for
then
sure.
you have a
nice.
gun on your dome that you can shoot them with and stuff like that. But yeah, check it out if you haven't. I don't know how much is it, Gunny? It's not expensive, right? It's like $10-15 or something.
Let's see. How much was
$18.
18. There you go. Yeah. So it's not like it's like a crazy expensive game, but it might be something that, when you got, 20 minutes or something, you want to fucking do something quick. It'd be a fun game to throw on and play, I think.
Yeah. It also recommends that Rift Breaker game, which is actually pretty good. I think that was on Game Pass. It was meh. I don't think the only thing about that game, that Rift Breaker game, was it didn't have multiplayer. I was like, God, you got to defend 2 different areas or 3 different areas? Are you kidding me? Man, that was a lot to manage. I could barely do 2.
Hmm.
But let's see here. What the hell just happened here? Moving on over. So we got Game Pass, real quick. One of the games that are featured
Battlefield
on Game Pass.
2020.
Not that one. It's not Minecraft fucking whatever. It's Wulong. Did you play Wulong, Ryan? Did you play that one?
I have not played that. I downloaded it and I haven't tried it, but I've heard that it's probably not my kind of game anyways.
Yeah.
So
It's almost Sekiro.
yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Or Neo. I want to say it's more closer to Neo in a
Well,
sense
they made
where
Neo, so that would make sense.
yeah. What is that Ninja? What fucking
Team
whatever
Ninja.
Team Ninja, yeah. So you would think like, hey, Henley, you like Elden Ring, you're probably into these. So I did try it at first, and there was like this first, because this is a game I forgot to mention I played, that I don't know, it's like whatever, this creature, and I'm like, okay, oh my god, this thing hits me twice and I die. What the fuck? So I didn't know there were other areas that I could go to kind of go around it or anyway, I don't know. It's a weird map thing they've got going on, but eventually I did beat it, and but yeah, it's quick. It's one of those fast games where, let's say you've
It's all
got an
about
enemy.
dodge and parry. You know
Yeah,
what I
pretty
mean?
much,
It's
like-
very, very
And
much
that-
a dodge and parry game, just like an Elden Ring or a Dark Souls or a Neo or whatever would be, right? Like it's that kind
Yeah.
of a game. It's just a little more fast paced. It's more kind of Devil May Cry-ish
Right there, you go.
speed.
Yeah, it's pretty fast. So where if you have like, so even like it's got the parry even has its own button to it. So on the Xbox controller, I don't know. I think it might have been the X button or whatever it was, and then the block is your LB. And of course, yeah, you can actually just fucking move out of the way. But I like the parry thing is hard, right? Because boom, once you hit it, and I think it's the Y button. Excuse me. Like you got to hit that thing kind of just right. So because it's only going to parry for that like millisecond, right? But once you do that, it I want to say it doesn't like knock them back. What it does is you end up behind them. So, if you're not, if you're old like me, you're going to be like, wait, what's going on here, right? So I'm kind of getting it down because I did put the game down for a minute, and I was like, oh man, this game is hard. And then somebody said, yeah, go back and you can kind of grind away some enemies, even in that first level. And, hopefully you just like grind out maybe some better gear or something. I was like, okay. So I kind of did that, and you'll find a little bit of better things. But so far, Jesus, I've only managed that first boss. And yeah, he really I got him down halfway. But man, like I said, the parry is just like, I think that's what I have to do because you may not always be able to just evade, to get out of his grasp. I think that parry is the key right there. So parry, get in a couple hits on his back, maybe use a special, and then fucking just start running back, So I don't know. I'm gonna see. I think I'll go back to it probably this week. I'll try it again a few more times, and maybe then just hang up my hat on that thing. So I don't know. It's tough. But finish up console corner here, guys. We've got also on Game Pass is a Guilty Gear, so probably an older game. I don't know if it's older, but anyway, try it out if you're into fighting games. And on the Epic Store, we have Call of the Sea, which was on Game Pass, by the way. So, yeah, Call of the Sea. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all we have for that. So let me see if that's actually still on there. I don't know if it's still on the. No, I don't see it anymore. So I remember I played it on console. I don't know. It's not. I think it was like an adventure game, not action. So not for
What are you
me.
talking about?
Epic's got Call of the Sea on there,
Oh,
on their free game for the week. So nothing to go after really. So don't recommend it. I think it was. I don't know if it was a point and click or what the fuck was that game. So I remember when it first came to Game Pass. So I didn't put too much time into it. So mystery, I think, is what it was. But yeah, that's all we have, guys. I think that's the end of the show. This is the end.
There's no community questions.
No community questions from us. Anybody got any questions? Any questions for us, guys?
Community questions. You're muted. Jesus.
He's over there laughing. I don't know what he's laughing at, but anyway, guys.
You're still muted.
Are you guys done?
We're done. We're
I think
finished.
so, man.
Complete.
Console Corner's done. No
Where
community
can we find you,
questions.
Ryan?
You can find me on Xbox Live and just about anywhere else as Gib8777.
Oh, you Gunny.
Find me on Xbox and Steam, Epic Store under gamer tag Gunny Chief. Over on the PlayStation 4, HGP_Gunny.
What about you, Jesus?
Find me on everything as Jesus Walks a Lot. And find the Mayo crying in a Camaro somewhere in Ohio.
Because it doesn't go fast enough.
It's
It
from a
doesn't
zebra.
go fast.
Not a horse.
He doesn't have all the horsepower.
He's missing a couple of
Wait,
horses.
how does horsepower work, guys? Is one horse
Oh, jeez.
1 horsepower?
What's that equal? Where did that terminology come from? Was that
Listen,
like,
so all right, so Mayo's Camaro has 440 horsepower, like he says.
So
And I
there's
have
440 horses inside the hood of his car.
what if I
Little
grab
miniature
400
horses just running on like gerbils on wheels.
Okay, but what if I put myself like in a carriage, and I tie 440 horses to my front of my carriage?
horses or miniature show horses?
Regular
I
horses.
would bet you
whatever.
would go really fast.
Vanilla horse.
How fast would I go?
But I bet you by the end of your ride, you would have less than 440 horses.
Several would die. Yeah.
Think so?
I think for 440 horses,
would
I
run
think
over
they
other
would end up
horses.
trampling each other.
Battle Royale horses.
These horses would all be in sync. They'd be like super horses.
All right, if you say so.
They're all in line and they all go straight and they go really fast. When
Let's
I beat
ask
Mayo,
ChatGPT if fucking 440 horses could pull one carriage.
they could. I'm pretty sure. See, you just go
Sure,
4
I'm
wide.
gonna open Bing right now.
I got you go 4 wide, 40 rows of those, all pulling straight.
How many? Yeah, how many would survive?
40 horses pull one carriage?
Ryan's asking the AI.
Oh,
Damn, I could just picture that. Didn't they make a game about this? Like another simulator. There had to be.
it's not really. Horses are generally able to pull 2 or 3 times their body weight on wheels. And while the average horse weighs between 1,200 and 1,800 pounds, carriage loads generally do not exceed 1,000 pounds. How much weight can a horse draw in a wagon? See, it doesn't really. Yeah, it didn't really.
All right, listen. I'm looking it up right now. Scientists say one horse, Gunny, a real life regular horse, can do a maximum of around 14.9 horsepower. So one horse.
Okay.
One horse is in 1 horsepower. One horse is 14.
14 and a half. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to do math now. I need a calculator. Where's the calculator at? Calculator.
So maybe that's where Sony's getting their stuff. When Mayo talked about
what? 440, divide that 14.5.
He was talking about driving the
I just
car.
need 30. I just need 30 horses, pretty much. I'll do 31 because I'll round it up. I'll get 31 horses, and I'll race Mayo in his car. Okay. And we'll see who wins. 31 horses won't trample each other. I'm pretty sure you could line them up.
It'd be a long line, but I guess if one falls in the front, though, it might prove devastating for you.
I'll be looking like Santa, but on the street. Like a long line of horses.
Dark Santa.
Okay, here you go, Jesus. According to the world record, the most horses pulling a carriage is 141 in an event organized by
I bet that guy was going faster than
Le
Mayo's
Comité
Camaro.
des Fêtes de Bernarda est Association des 1000 An.
See, I bet you that guy could go way faster than Mayo's Camaro.
In France on December 18th, 2005. I'm not sure what would happen if 440 horses pulled one carriage, but it would probably be very difficult to control and coordinate such a large number of horses. Why are you curious about this scenario? That's what the AI said.
Tell him don't worry about it. Like, don't worry, bro. It's just a science experiment.
And I noticed now even the AI is using emojis.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're out of here, people. We'll see y'all next week when Jesus buys 31 horses and races Mayo and Camaro.
What does Gidget say, Jesus?
The event.
Peace out, Brussels sprouts. Bye.
See ya.
Later.